Hello, everyone. Welcome to Worldwide Wrestling with Jeff, Kat, Fabby, and Richard. We're going to be at this for
everyone.
4 hours rather than the 2 hours the past couple have been. We're still sitting at about $900 of our elite number goal, 1,337, and let's see if we can break 1,000 by the end of the night. I think we can do that. I think that's easy.
I think we can do that. I think that what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna be watching the Tiltify, and it's gonna do it. And I'm putting this out there for the stream. If you're watching this, and I hope that you are paying attention to the donation numbers. For every, what's a good number? $25. For every $25 donated for the next 4 hours, I'm gonna add a match to the card and just name a couple wrestlers who are in a match. Just really fill out the mid card and give us some extra matches to fill out the rest of the show.
Well, you heard the man. Let's get a stacked card tonight.
It's gotta be. There's gonna be a lot of wrestlers on deck. I actually have to pull up my incredibly important list of wrestler names. It is the single most important document that I have in my Google Drive. I have it now in front of me. And as donations come in, this card is just going to get stacked full of wrestlers. Hold on. Let me grab the actual Tiltify page link so that I can have it in front of me.
Sure.
And remember, if you let it linger on a cool number, I will take that cool number from you. Just because I am playing does not mean I am not still your villain.
Yeah, Kat is the heel of this stream, and we need to defeat her.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I'm a villain, but I've done a face turn for this stream. All right, and with that,
right.
I'm gonna go on mute, and then Jeff, take us away.
All right. Well, as has been established, we are playing Worldwide Wrestling today. It is the Powered by the Apocalypse game of the high-flying world of professional wrestling. I will be your creative for the day, for the evening. I am Jeff Stormer. I am the self-described Michael Morbius of podcasting and game design. I am the host of Party of One and the co-host of All My Fantasy Children. I've made a bunch of games. I am the unofficial art designer of the Olive Garden restaurant because they won't respond to my goddamn tweets. And that's me in a nutshell. You know what? It's important that we have dreams and goals. That's really how I feel.
Listen, every time anyone mentions Olive Garden that I know, I'm like, yes, my friend Jeff Stormer is the unofficial writer for the Olive Garden LARP.
See, and that's the kind of groundswell. That's the kind of ground support that we need.
We're on the streets.
That's what we're looking for. My pronouns are he, his. I will run us down our list of players. Kat, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people where they might know you from.
Hi, I am Kat. I am ordinarily the host king of the podcast Sword of Symphonies, where my beautiful friends playtest my game Heroic Chord. I am the choir master of the upcoming Roar to Heaven, which if you backed it on Kickstarter, there's a sneak peek coming this weekend. So get profoundly hyped about that. Other than that, I just kind of duck into whatever stream people will allow me in on, and here I am.
And here you are.
My pronouns are she, they. Oh, and I am the villain of this stream. I won't let you have cool numbers. Mwah.
All right, Fabby, go ahead and introduce yourself and let people know where they might know you from.
I am a writer for tabletop games such as... I'm trying to think if I've written anything for you, Jeff, recently. I know I have, but I can't think of it on the top of my head. I've written stuff for Pathfinder, Starfinder, Hardwire Island. This is a game about fishing and a bunch of other smaller indie games. I am also a podcaster. I'm on Eidolon Playtest, which is JoJo's Persona-inspired actual play. We are finishing up our mini seasons. I just recorded an episode of Eidolon Giants, which uses music of They Might Be Giants. We have Eidolon Spice just finished for Spice Girls, Eidolon Daft for Daft Punk, Eidolon Crush for Crush 40. So you can see all of that, and if you look for Eidolon Playtest, and I'm on a bunch of other stuff, but for now, that's all you have to worry about.
I am a little heartbroken that you did not mention the most important Eidolon series, the one that we're both on together.
The one that people need to pay $10. I'm not gonna promote the $10 Patreon exclusive series, Jeff.
Fair. No, that's fair. It's fair and valid.
We need to get them in the door first.
That's fair and valid. That's good. That's good marketing. That's good marketing.
Hold on, I need to jump back in here for a second. Is this the series I know about?
Which one? Eidolon Pasta?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the $10
I didn't know
Patreon
Jeff
series.
was on Eidolon Pasta. I gotta up my Patreon thing. Okay, I'm backing out now. Bye.
See, but the thing is, if there's someone here who doesn't know me, I'm not gonna be sorry. Hi, I am a stranger to you.
Give me $10.
If you want to hear me and Jeff, pay me $10. Not even me. Pay me and 9 other people to pay us $1 each, and then you can hear Jeff.
He's a luxury few can afford.
That's fair. Richard, same deal. Name, pronouns, and where people know you on the internet.
Sure. I'm Richard Kreutz-Landry. You can find me at @Kreutz-Landry on Twitter. Although maybe don't if you don't appreciate bad puns, deep sea creatures, and origami and Lego design. Those are sort of the things that I do outside of my day job. I'm a software engineer. You probably won't hear about me there. But where you may know me from is Descent into Midnight, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse game about psionic sea creatures defending their home from an otherworldly threat. We are in development. It's been a while, but we're getting there. We're in layout, and it's still moving, and it is still basically my favorite game. Yeah.
It's a great game. Last time I played, I used different name and pronouns. It was like 3 years ago.
I was just gonna say, yeah. But yeah, you play weird psionic fish, and I mean, what's not to love about that?
Well, speaking of favorite games, we are about to play my favorite role-playing game. It is a tie, depending on the day, depending on the hour, between Worldwide Wrestling and Kubrick, a post-adaptation game by Ben Roswell. But like today, right now, since I'm sitting down to play it, Worldwide Wrestling has taken the #1 spot. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. So we are playing Worldwide Wrestling. We are playing wrestling, and to give us a little bit before we go through our characters and before we go through safety stuff, to give us a little bit of an introduction to the world and the setting, we are going to flip our radios over to 104.9, the Cruise, KRUZ. You are listening to the Cruise Talk Radio as we head into the 12 a.m. hour. We are going to kick off our smooth jazz block. And quick before that, just a quick word from our sponsors. Saturday! Live at the Reynolds County Yacht Club, Tri-County Wrestling brings to you Bash at the Boathouse. The biggest, the baddest, and the brawlingest names in sports entertainment will be duking it out on a match so wild, so hot, it can only happen on the water. Tonight and tonight only, you will see the first ever international waters match. Be there or be square. One night only. Bash at the Boathouse, Tri-County Wrestling. And that is our grand kickoff. We cut to the boat show. There are not many people there. There are a handful of boats. There are a handful of booths. In the actual stands of the show, there are about 100 people. Tri-County Wrestling is the official wrestling federation of Runnels, Hickenbottom, and Callaway counties. It is grand ambition with a limited budget, and this is the show that you are about to put on. You are each playing a wrestler. You will be given your matches. You will be given your finishes, and you're going to go out there and make the best show that you can make. So, with all of that in mind, the first thing we should do is run through our safety tools, which are designed to make sure play safe and comfortable. First and foremost, we are playing in good faith. We are having an open conversation. We can always step aside. Our comfort as players is more important than the game itself. Secondly, we will go through a list of lines and veils, things that we don't want to come up and play, or things that we are okay coming up with in play, but like keep it at arm's length. For me, I and these are largely things I cannot imagine this table coming with, but like it's always good to say. I say no sexual assault, a line on like harm to animals and children, and a line on eye and teeth injuries, which are the likeliest things to come up, as this is a wrestling show. I don't mind it being a thing, but like I don't want to hear that much about it. Does anyone have anything else that they want to add to that list up front?
So I know I am playing a panda-themed wrestler, but you know, I'm working very hard to make sure that that is not a like going to get into racist territory.
Fair.
So just throwing that out there as like, you know, no racism against characters, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But other than that, I think what we've got so far is great.
That does bring up the other. I think line I have that is a prominent thing in wrestling, unfortunately, which is no bigotry as a heel gimmick. I can't imagine anyone at the table pulling that card, but it's worth saying out loud. It's not something that I want in my wrestling. It's not something that I want in my wrestling role playing game.
Yep. There's plenty of ways to be an asshole without.
Can I clarify that one? Is low key, if I do end up being a heel, and we haven't decided that yet, is low key classism allowed, given that their goal is to put a rich person through a table?
I feel like I'm okay with I think classism might be the only hatefulness as a heel that I'm like pretty explicitly okay with, because everybody loves a good rich asshole that we eventually see get put through a table.
Yeah,
I think that's fair and valid.
Okay, all right. I think my big line is I don't like buried alive. That's a specific brand of claustrophobia that.
Yep, totally fine.
I imagine it coming up in wrestling, but I don't know, just a real grim casket match. But
since we are doing a match on the water, does anybody have anything with drowning specifically or anything like that?
Not personally, no. Okay. I know I'm gonna bring up some trans-related topics, but I'm gonna bring them up as hey, this sucks. So heads up.
I think it's fair and valid.
Yeah, I will bring up shitty things, but I'm doing that as a way to vent and get my frustration out about them. Yeah,
I think that's fair and cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's different for you to bring them up than it is for us to visit them upon you.
Yeah.
And it's safe to say we're not going to do that. Yeah.
Anything else anybody wants to add to the list?
No, but I just thought about something I should have in the background. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep, no problem.
You'll appreciate this.
Oh, yes!
I do appreciate that, I do appreciate that a lot.
You were right. You were correct. Yeah.
There we go. I'm ready to go now.
All right, great. Goal. And then during play, obviously, we will just have open conversations, but also we have the X card. If we just say X or throw the X on screen, we can signal to stop play entirely, whether we want to talk something through or just pause something and say, hey, I want something like X'ized out. Or we can hit, say N or trigger the N card to keep the scene moving, but gradually move it in another direction. We won't necessarily stop play, but it gives us an opportunity to move things as needed. Any questions about that before we introduce our characters and kick off the show?
Sounds great.
All right. So what we're going to do now is we've saved one piece of character creation for on stream, because I think it is a vital thing to hear like during the table of play, which is I'm going to have each of you introduce your character, give us their name, where they're billed from, describe their entrance a little bit, but save the meat of it for the actual show. Give us an idea of who your character is, and then we will go around. We will ask and answer some heat questions to figure out what your backstage relationships are. Richard, why don't you go first?
Okay, so I'm going to be playing tonight Panda Express. He is like a 7 foot tall, like literally 7 feet tall, just this huge dude. His pronouns are he, him. He hails from San Francisco, and his sort of shtick is he is both panda themed and train themed, which is where we've got the panda and the express coming from. And you can imagine that there might be a corporation out there that sells delicious, with a big question mark on the end, food that might take issue with his particular choice of moniker. So we may see some more about that a little later. But he is firmly in the heel category for sure. And yeah, I think that's the basics for him. We'll get to his entrance when we get to that point.
Cool. Fabby.
I'm playing Gabriela, aka Trans Rage. She is a trans woman. She/her pronouns. She is a wrestler. She used to have a comedy gimmick long ago in a different podcast, but she has gotten tired and fed up about the state of the world and how trans people are treated, both in the industry of wrestling and in the world at large, and has kind of re-embedded herself as a more aggressive, like, fuck conformism, fuck like PC, fuck like assimilating. We're like surviving because we're being erased, you know? Yeah, she's hailing from your local queer bar.
Nice.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Kat.
I am playing Count Alabaster von Standoff. He is a Dracula. He is a Castlevania-style, extremely frilly Dracula man, hailing from Castle Standoff in the remote country of Fictovia. He comes into dimmed lights, fires, organ music, and butlers willing to present him with glasses of wine.
That's real good. That's real good. This is a good group. This is a good group, top to bottom. So what we're going to do now that we've met our wrestlers, each of you has a series of questions on your gimmick sheet. Your gimmick is your the character that you present, the place that you fit in the company, and also like the role, the background that you bring into professional wrestling, as you are playing both the wrestler on screen and the performer that plays that wrestler behind the stage. What we're going to do now is you are going to there are 3 of us, so you'll answer 4 questions. So you'll ask all 4 questions on your sheet. And someone else will raise their hand and say, I think that fits me. And then that will give you a point of heat with that person. So if I ask the question, who wants to kick my ass? And Kat says, it me. Then I would put Kat down on my gimmick sheet. And that gives me 1 heat with Kat. Heat represents the level to which the crowd wants to see you fight each other. If you each have +4 heat, that represents the most legendary of pro wrestling rivalries. And that's the kind of thing that is likely to grow your audience. If 2 of you have +4 heat with each other, then every time you face off in the ring, both of your audiences grow at the same time. The big thing to note is that heat can and is unequal. I can have +4 heat with you if the crowd really wants to see me go after you. You can have +4 heat with me where my character is not even a blip in your eye. So you will add a point. You will get a point of heat with them, but they will not get a point of heat with you. So with that, I will say, Kat, pick a question off of your sheet and ask it to the group, and we'll just we'll go Kat, Fabby, Richard, and we'll just go in that circle.
So, Count Alabaster is the clown. He is a comedy relief character. So, backstage, they're kind of known for being performers, the clowns, more than athletes. So I guess my first question is, who asks me for tips to add something fresh to their act?
I mean, I can definitely see Panda Express doing that, because his secret goal is to educate kids about wildlife and conservation, but he's doing it in a really circuitous way. So he always sneaks little tidbits of information into all his promos.
Okay.
But he likes the theatricality of that, and he's not very good at it. So
Yeah. I'll help you be theatrical. Yeah. Absolutely. Love that.
That's great. That's great. So, so you will put down Panda Express on your sheet, and you'll have +1 heat with Panda Express.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so Cat's got 1 heat, and I just have the result of the question, not the
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have the heat. Cat gets the heat. You just kind of flesh out your character and this is the stuff that will come up in play.
Okay.
So, Fabby.
Who saw the potential in me to excel at being such an oddball? For the record, I'm playing the Provocateur. I was between the Provocateur and the anti-hero for this character. I went for the Provocateur since there's more of like a history of characters that fit that mold. But this is definitely like, I won't say a darker, but maybe a more violent of those. What if like an Exotico just started beating the crap out of people?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who saw the potential in me to be to excel at being such an oddball?
If we're saying that Alabaster is kind of the person who behind the scenes is driving our league to be more theatrical, then maybe Alabaster was the one who was just like, hey, instead of being the butt of the joke, take it into your own hands.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I like that. I really like that.
Just clown lessons. For serious reasons.
Let me write it down. Yeah.
And that brings us to Richard.
Okay, so who is legitimately terrified of Panda Express? This 7-foot monster of a dude.
I think I am. I think Gabriela is. But just because I think she's terrified of all like mascot animal, like that's way too big. Like no, that's way you should be small. Like that's way too big. No,
it's literally not that he's huge. It's the combination of him being huge and being so into the panda thing.
Yes. Okay. Panda somewhere here. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, and I thought about doing like a luchador mask for him, but I was like, no, because he's got a conductor hat, like one of the train things where he's going around clipping the tickets, like the dude in Polar Express, the soulless, face of Tom Hanks. But he on the hat are where his panda ears are. And so there's always got to be like some business where somebody takes the hat, or like that is the the symbol of his panda power is his conductor hat with panda ears on it. So yes.
All right. I'm assuming we're going to go around in circle till we're done all question?
Yes, indeed.
Okie dokie. So who am I overshadowing with my antics?
Ooh, I feel like that could be me, I think. Because I think Panda is frustrated because again, he's not great at cutting promos, and he's trying, and he's getting the tips and he's working on it, but I think there's a little bit of resentment there of like I'm just trying to educate the kids by being a total bastard, and
Yes, it's true. My character hates all furries. All of them.
Shameful.
Do not look at anything around me.
Yeah.
All right, Fabby. Here's your next question.
Yeah, my next question is, I hid it behind my second monitor because I'm smart. Who thinks all smoke and no fire?
Ooh. Can we veto a question? I don't know.
You know what? I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, you're you're coming into the ring with a lot of passion and a lot of fury, but I'm not hearing a lot of showmanship. And I think that's very much what the Count is focused on.
Yeah, and she's like, no, like it's
this is entertainment. You still have to be entertaining, Gabriella. I get that you're mad, but come on.
I'll show you entertainment.
Okay. That's a cool
like
twist
that.
on the question. I like that, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Who has made me look weak?
I can take this.
I love that. Yeah.
I think at one point she like question, are you a babyface or a heel?
Definitely a heel, 100%.
Okay. Then yeah, I think I'm gonna be the babyface here, and I think she like handcuffed you to the ring. And then like grabbed like a pair of programmer socks and started putting them on you, and then like a cat ears, and took your hat off and put the cat ears on you. And then just spray painted you with pink.
Okay.
Yeah, just to put a message. It's like, this is your big monster. See what I can do to him.
Okay. I love that.
This is a kitty now.
And Richard. Or wait, no, Richard, you just went.
Yeah.
Did you go?
Yeah. I also love the idea that like when they went to interview him afterwards, he started doing cat facts. That was the fact that he stuck in at the end. So like it was obviously part of the thing, but it was just like it was very good. Okay.
So who always turns to me to save their segments when they drop the ball?
Ooh. I mean, because I've taken 2 of yours, I think.
Yeah.
Right? So far, so I don't know.
I could, but no, it makes sense to me more your character.
Yeah.
Unless we want to decide that like I'm okay taking this, but like it feels, and I'm okay with the fact that like I have 2 heat with the Count, and the Count has 2 heat with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
if I can just, I'm just gonna write trans rage. If I can just, I think that just maybe the Gabriella strikes me as being very straightforward and very aggressive, which means sometimes maybe she needs somebody to lighten the mood and
that's fair.
Okay.
And bring in the clown, as it were.
Yeah, I think maybe the thing is you think I'm asking for you all the time, whereas I'm like, no, I was doing a point. Like, why are we doing here?
Get that this is entertainment. Please, I'm begging you. Okay, I get. I do like the dynamic that we have.
Brings us back around. Is that where we at? I've completely lost track of this.
We just started the 3rd round.
All right, great.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
It should be me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see if we can make this one work. Who is trying to steal my approach? Maybe Panda? We'll leave it up to y'all. Like, maybe like people are starting to actually hear me, and you're like, okay, that's cool, but what if they heard me about my cause? Do I need to be more aggressive? Do I need what do I need to be doing?
Oh my god!
Maybe you need to stop being so comedic.
I'm just imagining like he gets this idea in his head that he's like, I need to be Steve Irwin, but a complete asshole.
Yeah, Steve Austin Irwin.
Oh my god. Okay, so sorry. What was the exact wording of the?
Who is trying to steal my approach?
Okay, right. Steal Rage's approach of being more direct and angry. I don't think he understands the like the subtlety of the wait, but that's a real issue. I can't just be angry to be angry. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just so angry.
Okay. Who helps me come up with new directions for my character? I think that might be. I don't know if it's intentional.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the mirror side of it, and you're just like, I don't. What?
Or like I say like a phrase, and you like take it completely. It's like, you just have to speak and like honestly, and they'll hear you, and you're like, okay, I am honestly really angry. Like, what?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he takes things out of context and just amazing. Okay.
I love them both so much. Round 4. Who thinks I'm a waste of a roster slot?
I think that has to be me, right? Yeah. I feel that's like, okay, you had your time and your place, but like
we fundamentally don't understand each other's approaches.
It's like, okay, yeah, no, I get it. I get comedy wrestling, but like there's a time and place for it. Which is, I think Fabby disagrees. I love comedy wrestling.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite wrestling.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Dramatic Dream team. I am. Yeah, this is great. I'm loving all of this. Fabby, your final question.
Who's starstruck by me, even though we're peers?
Ooh.
You know what? I'm gonna step forward on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think my canon for Alabaster is that behind the scenes, he's just a gay kid. Like, he's a theater kid, and so his way of interfacing with a hostile world is through comedy, and he's genuinely in awe of somebody who can bring unbridled hostility to the world, even though he maintains that wrestling is maybe the place to put a bridle on the hostility a little bit, but he does still admire her a lot.
That's sick. That's so good. All right, Richard, final question.
Okay, now this one is who can stand up, which I think it would be hilarious if it were Count Alabaster.
Yes, I agree.
Because, like, he's, like, scrawny, right? Like,
he's a little dude. He's not very big.
But he's also a Dracula. Like, it's worth noting. Yeah. Also a Dracula.
And I think between the shtick and, like, that's the thing is, Panda really, he appreciates the sort of like, oh, this is the story that's happening. He loves getting into that part of it. And he loves the idea that we're communicating messages with what we're doing, because that's his whole driving thing. And he's like, oh yeah, well, vampires are strong, so we really got to sell it, Yeah. And so it doesn't matter that, Alabaster is tiny.
So little.
Oh, Alabaster doing a choke slam on Panda Express, and Panda's just like jumping and selling it.
Yes. That's great.
Oh.
That's great.
What a wonderful little family we've built.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been mapping out. The match of the card. So with that, we have our relationships. To go over a little bit of the rules of Worldwide Wrestling to give us all some grounding. How this is going to work. I am playing creative. I am going to, set the stage, introduce premises and matches, and theoretically how they finish, but basically all of your moves and abilities fuck with that planning, and it is my job to make it seem like I had planned everything all along. So most few of the things you can do at any point, you can spend a momentum. Your characters all start with a certain amount of momentum that is based on your audience score. You can spend a momentum at any time to enter into a segment or a match, or like make yourself present on the scene, however that looks like. There are also moves on your character sheet that will allow you to do various things during a match. The actual wrestling we will cover in a bit, but that's the general idea. And then, powered by the Apocalypse rules, you'll roll 2d6 plus a stat. 10 plus is you get what you want. 10 plus, you get what you want. 7 to 9, something goes wrong, and but you still mostly get what you want. And 6 minus, you botch, at which point something severely wrong. It goes severely wrong, which I will lay out as it happens. Basically, there is drama backstage, there's drama on screen, and we are going to be playing all of those things out. And with all of that said, we cut back to Saturday night. It is the show is starting at 7. It is minutes before 7 p.m. TCW promoter Tex Scrapple gathers everybody around the ring, or around backstage, and it's like, everyone, I don't need to tell you what a big opportunity this is. As you probably know, we've lost a good amount of our roster to Pure Elite Wrestling. They've got a lot of people. A lot of our biggest names are now wrestling on their weekly Vimeo show. And we have to, frankly, we need to draw in an audience, and we need to draw in some donors, and this boat show is an opportunity for us to do both. I'm really trusting you to go big, because I'm not sure what the future of TCW holds if this show is not a big hit. I don't want to put that on you, but just know that there's a lot riding on the success of this show.
So, I've got a question, because the rules told me not to decide yet, so I haven't decided yet. Since we're wrestling for a crowd of yacht club jerks,
yeah,
is Count Alabaster von Standoff a babyface?
Is
he a heel?
Yeah, in that case, I would. If you're a babyface, I think I would be a heel with this crowd. Yeah. Or is this just in a boat and like there's everyday people here? What's the...
I think so. I think what it is that it's being held at a boat show. There are yacht jerks around, but like they have been selling tickets to whoever, and like the actual stands, it's as if you went to a farm fair or like a town carnival, and there was also a wrestling show. I've
been there, yeah.
And
so the experience of like going through the crowd and spotting the nerds in the wrestling shirts and going, oh, I'm in the right direction. Yeah. Like you see the crowd slowly change and become less and less cool as you approach the ring. That's where we're at. So, but there are yacht jerks about.
Because I can picture the Count being a heel and just being like an arrogant, aristocratic vampire type who everyone wants to see get put through a table. But I can also see like a sexy, charismatic vampire type that the crowd goes wild for.
What I think I would like to propose is that you are a heel and you have been pulled aside on this show with the added difficulty of like as a heel impressing the yacht, like appealing to the yacht jerks in that sort of
make them come over.
I like that. So I am checking off heel.
And so what that means is your alignment gives you automatic heat with any one of the opposite alignment. So if you are a heel, you have heat with baby faces. If you are a baby face, you have extra heat with the heel.
Yes.
Okay, so I think Alabaster and I are both heels for this then.
We're both heels, but in this show, I am trying to face it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You're playing both sides, basically.
Yeah. It's sort of
on a switch, and then just like he stares at the promoter, and just stares, and just continues staring until he gets a response. He's a little shit backstage.
I think that was in character. My response, just laughing in the corner of the room.
I think Panda is just totally blank faced and doesn't understand what's going on.
Just flop
She's like,
sweat.
I could swap Sorensen with the bottom. Okay. I guess my radar's wrong, yeah.
Just flop sweat, and then, all right, everybody have a great show. We will see you later. He grabs a microphone. He does briefly kind of like, he pulls you aside to say, look, Alabaster, we really, we're setting you up big on this show. You are going to be the main event. We're going to have you run in on me as my opening introduction. We're going to set up the main event. You are going to look like the coolest motherfucker on the planet, specifically so that all the rich people that we want to be donors will come over and watch. So just know that, and know you're going to make a run in the opening introduction.
Can do. No problem.
With that, I say the lights go dark, but it's an outdoor show, so it just dark.
My entrance.
Is this like literally on just like a barge?
Turn off.
It's like around, like it's the actual ring is like on the docks, like it's not actually on the water. They just kind of advertised it as such, but there are like several boats around. Like
it's kind of like a bash at the beach, but with boats. Yeah. It's like, well, we're not doing it in the middle of a pool, but like we're next to the pool.
Yeah, there's water by us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everybody takes their seats.
Sturgis with boats sounds like the worst idea.
This sounds like the. I mean, this
Eric
already
Bishop somewhere is like.
Yeah. Bishop, an eyebrow just raised from wherever he is. Like, what if? So Tex takes to the ring. He grabs a microphone. Hello, Reynolds County Boat Show. Are you ready for Bash at the Boat Show? Some polite claps and cough. We have a great show tonight. We are going to be having the first ever international waters match. And you know what they say about international waters? Everything is legal. We are going to be having a show so hot it can only be held here on the water. And as he is talking, this is when backstage they wheel out the smoke machine. So Alabaster, make your entrance and run it.
There's a huge organ flourish that plays, and Alabaster has stealthily badgered the tech crew into turning it up for this, just so that he can see that the audience is getting bored, so he wants to startle them a little bit. Which is and this time he has conscripted the butlers to hold umbrellas over him as he makes his way to the ring.
Love it.
He's been instructed to run. He does not run anywhere. Sorry.
All right.
I'll be taking that microphone.
Slowest run in history.
And I think that the whole time you're making your entrance, Tex is laying it up, like has dropped down and is doing the kind of kick backwards, like, get out of here! And refs are running to the ring and trying to grab
refs
your
crucifix from under his shirt.
Is playing it up so much. His hat has fallen off. You snatch the microphone out of his hand and cut your promo on how you are going to take over Tri-County Wrestling tonight of all nights.
All right. Look at me, audience. Gaze upon me, audience. I am Count Alabaster von Standoff, Duke of Victovia. And soon, Duke of your hearts. For tonight, today, the day, I will prove to you the immense strength and power that comes from being a Dracula. And I will be the one with the microphone, with the promotions, I will be the one with the hottest match and the international waters. These puppets will do as I say. Just as you puppets will do. And he's like, wait, I have to reel in the puppet talk. I have to reel in the puppet talk. I'm supposed to be facing it. And he's like, no. You will choose to do as I say. For I see in your eyes that you understand.
So roll me to cut a promo. This is one of the moves of the game. You are going to roll plus look.
Look is the cat's best stats. That is a 13.
Oh, gorgeous.
That is a 13.
So you get to pick 2 from the following list. You can make creative book you in a match. You can add a stipulation to a relevant match. You can have someone... You can name an opponent to come out and respond to your promo, or you can gain +1 heat with the subject of your promo, which in this case will be, I think, probably
Text.
the promote. Is Tex.
Oh, wow. Do I want to wrestle Tex? Enough cowering. Tex is Chitlin's man. I will show you my power. And if I win, I will be the promoter.
All right.
I will be the director of this league, and all will bow before me. The Count Alabaster.
So you are being booked into a match. Are you adding a stipulation, or are you taking +1 heat with Are you taking +1 heat with Tex? Are you asking him to respond to your promo, or are you adding a stipulation to this match?
I think I'm going to take +1 heat with Tex.
Okay, great. Then with that, I think he stands up. I think a ref slides into the ring. The bell rings, and we have our first match for control of Tri-County Wrestling. Count
Right
Alabaster versus Tex Scrapple. Wrestling moves in Worldwide Wrestling. The way this works is one of us will have control of the match at the start. This is traditionally the heel, so you will start with control, especially because Tex is not your equal and is playing up how helpless he is at this moment. You will describe how you start the match. This doesn't need to be a blow for blow, punch for punch thing. It doesn't need to involve any actual wrestling name moves. It can if you feel like it adds to the story. But you're pretty much just describing how you're fighting, the mood and the vibe of what you're doing and how you're winning in the match. And then I will ask you to roll based on what you to roll based on your how you're describing it will impact how you roll the wrestling move.
Okay.
And that will tell us the story of the match. It will tell us when you risk getting hurt. It will tell us when things go wrong. And as we move towards the finish of the match, when it's time for that, I will state the booked finish of the match. You'll roll your finisher, and then we will play out what happens next.
Okay.
So the bell rings, and Tex is immediately cower. Tex is continuing to cower. Tex is mortified that this is unfolding in front of him.
I think I've got 2 things because one thing that I'm imagining is that I'm going straight for vampire domination nonsense. I'm reaching out to him. I'm pulling off my shades.
Sure.
It's look into my eyes, mortal. And just full on doing a vampire hypnotism. I would just like to say that I would absolutely love it if at some point someone would sneak this man a crucifix.
I think that can be done. I think
that would be a very good moment.
I know Fabby mentioned earlier, and I think I think that he's been holding it kind of helplessly, and it's kind of been doing nothing. But I think he does have one in his hand if it comes up as a plot thing later. Good, that's important because I do love that.
Because this is at a boathouse yacht club thing, right?
Yeah. It's on the docks outside of. There's the boathouse. There are the docks where the boats and the actual boat show displays are set up, and then the ring is adjacent to the dock.
So there's got to be like a shack, right? Like a food
absolutely.
snack shack. So
Yeah.
like maybe there's someone like maybe they sell garlic truffle fries at the snack shack. So there's garlic truffle oil in little thingies that could come into play.
I love it. I'm keeping that in my back pocket.
That's beautiful.
So right now, because you are using your look, you are using your character. Let me look and remind myself. They slightly changed it, and I want to remind myself how what character stuff in the ring is in Worldwide Wrestling.
Okay. I also I have as a clown my special move is finishing move. Which means if I'm booked to win this match, it becomes relevant for me. So
Yep. And you'll roll that when it is your time to. Spoiler alert: you're booked to win this match. So when we're done with the match, you will drop that when it's time to finish the match.
All right, I'm excited to beat up Tex. If this is anything like my local league, it's run by like a veteran wrestler. So.
I think that I'm going to have you roll because you're doing character-based stuff. I'm going to have you roll wrestling with look.
Okay.
I think that feels like the right that feels like actually I think that this is working the audience. I think is what's happening here. Like I think this is like you are playing up your character and you are like putting on the show. So I'm going to ask you to roll plus your audience.
Okay, my audience starts and resets to +2. Whee! That is an 8.
On an 8, gain +1 momentum. They are playing along. Tex is flopping around the ring. There's a moment where you hypnotize him and he kind of like you stare in his eyes and he lays down and you go for the pin and he kicks out at 2 and the crowd is shocked. But he's clearly like playing up the supernatural aspect, acknowledging that you are torturing this man with your supernatural powers.
Yes. This is I talked a big game about being able to be a face, but I think in this moment Alabaster was like, do I know how to be a good guy? No, I guess let's just beat Tex up.
So you maintain control of the match. The two things you can do, you can hand off control to Tex if you like and gain 1 momentum because you are currently in control.
Yeah.
You can also continue wrestling, which is you will keep doing your thing. I lied. Those are your 2 options. Please.
But thank you to Future Erica for the $25.69 donation. So I believe that's another match on the card, isn't it?
That is the match on the card. I will announce that match after we are done with this match. I will pull 2 names off of my list. Oh, I've been looking for a spot to use this name, so this is good.
Okay. I'm sorry, can we just take a moment to appreciate both the name Tex Scrapple and the butchering of the name of Tex Chitlins?
Texas Chitlins?
Texas Chitlins. Because I was just like, oh no. Oh no. Oh, now I want Scrapple though. Oh.
I do love Scrapple. It is a favorite.
It is basically impossible to find in Southern California is the thing.
Oh, it flows like water in Philadelphia.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
There we go. No cool numbers for you.
Kat, how are you? What is your next move against Tex Scrapple?
I think I'm gonna let Tex take control. I think I'm gonna gain a momentum, and I'm gonna let Tex do his thing.
All right. I know exactly what happens. You go for another hypnosis spot. He starts to fall, and he reaches into his pocket at the last second and powders you in the eyes. Like he throws powder, and immediately, like as he does it, it's baby powder, but he screams garlic.
Yes.
And I I guess I must recoil and hiss. Garlic! I hate it!
He's now doing, the only way I can describe it is Shane McMahon punches, these sort of like awkward baby punches. They don't look good. No. They don't look like they land or connect.
Anything but that.
He is doing everything he can to like fight this off. And you know, like with you on the ropes because you're hissing and scowling from the garlic, he's very obnoxiously playing up that now he's got the advantage. Like he's doing the bad punches. He's kind of he's like jumping back, like it has immediately flipped the switch from comical cowering to comical overconfidence, where now he's kind of jumping back and he's doing the boxing and he's doing the baby punches and he's throwing jabs, and at which point you're going to get momentum back. How do you take back control of the match as he is hamming it up as best he can?
I think one of the butlers runs up and tosses Alabaster like a glass of water, which he like throws on his face. I was like, and
I love it.
Degarlics himself, and then I think is gonna lunge in for like a chokey slam, like a little chokey slammy.
Slammy.
Just to kind of reinforce that this is supernatural strength we're dealing with here. You've made a mockery for long enough, Texas Chidlins!
Oh, I forgot my two favorite mechanics in Worldwide Wrestling, which are Fabby and Richard. You both have an important role to be playing as this match is unfolding, and it will transfer to Kat later on, and it will switch hands. Every good wrestling show has a commentary team. And because this is an outdoor show happening, the commentary team is being blasted over the loudspeaker, including to the sections of the boat show where the actually like can't see the show because there's only the one channel that you can communicate on the loudspeaker. So whenever you like during the match, feel free to jump in and commentate on what is unfolding. And specifically, all four of us once in this particular game. Once and once per session, all four of us can do what is called putting over something on commentary. We can jump in as the commentator and really sell why something is amazing, why something landed in a particular way, and that automatically increases the performance of a given move or a given role by one category. So every one of us can change a failed roll into a 7-9 or a 7-9 into a success once over the course of the remainder of the game, just by way of the commentary really going above and beyond to sell this thing and make it something special.
Mm-hmm.
So water.
I feel like the commentary we've been hearing is, oh, and here comes that vampiric dominion. Oh no, he has no control over his body. Look at this, it's terrible.
But you see here, what he needs to be doing is, we have rules for them. We have the classics. We have garlic, holy water. There's running water all around us.
There comes the garlic in the face. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, the water is splashed in Tex's face. Or the water is splashed, you choke slam. That is going to be a wrestling move. You're going to make the wrestling move with, I think this is with body. This is something that showcases physical strength, acrobatic skill, or a signature removal that requires athletic ability.
Aha, but you see, my body is -2. The result is a 4.
All right. So something goes very wrong. Let me look at my hard moves.
Oh.
One of us could push it if we want to use our thing here.
I mean, I'm wondering. So by choke slam, are we talking like just going straight at I don't know the terminology.
Yeah, it's grab him by the throat, pick him up, slam him down.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what that would sound like. Obviously, okay. Oh, and it's turned around. The garlic is gone. It's gone, folks. The butler came in. There it is, washed away like the blood of this poor innocent from out of Texas going. Oh, he is going down, going for the throat. But, not like vampire thing. We're talking about going for the throat with a chokeslam, man. Oh, my goodness. That looks like it hurt, folks.
Does it look like it hurt?
I mean...
Doesn't.
It's now a 7-9, so...
It does look like it hurt. So on a 7-9, it's the wrestling move. On a 7-9, you keep their attention. You can hand control of the match to your opponent and gain +1 momentum, or you can retain control of the match.
I think I'm going to retain control because I think my point with this move was to sell the physical superiority of the vampire.
That feels good. And I think that what happens as that is unfolding is, because the butler has jumped onto the ring and has helped you out, ring crew and other referees are coming and now, actively wrestling the butlers and, dragging them off. So you no longer have your butlers at ringside. They have been, wrapped up in this fight and, sent packing. So you are without your butlers in the match. As you retain control, and I think give us one more move, and then we'll move towards our finish.
How dare you send your lackeys to defeat my lackeys? I am the one with the lackeys here, Texas.
And I think that the one thing that we do see is a referee definitely jumps up and hands Tex a Bible. So that he's just got it, and he's ready to go as you turn around and retain control of the match.
Uh-oh, folks, here we have the deadliest weapon of all, the holy words, the holy book.
The testament. I hate it. I'm so resentful to the creator for some reason.
We've got a 1-2 punch. We've got the Old Testament. We've got the New Testament. And looks like this is a new international version, I think.
It's King James! My least favorite of Bibles!
Tex really throwing the book at Count Alabaster. All right, what's your next move?
I really like a big old clothesliney.
Okay.
I love a clothesline, although it's going to be hard with a little fella.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'm going to do is do a vampiric dominion type thing as to your knees and then clothesline him from his knees.
I love it.
I'm cool. Shorter than Tex, I think.
So give me a wrestling roll plus work. You are showcasing your technique or using a maneuver that requires high-level wrestling skills.
Yeah. 7!
On a 7-9, you you can retain control of the match, or you can hand it over to Tex and gain +1 momentum.
Let's see. I think it's time for Tex to have a little momentum as a treat.
I think that he gets clotheslined, he goes down, you start to go for the pin, you start to gear up for your finisher when jumping onto the ring is one of the backstage producers who throws another cup of water in your face, but this time you immediately start to it's got a little bit of Alka-Seltzer in it, so it kind of does the little sizzle when it hits your face.
Oh no, and here we've got the holy water!
Vile cheater, Texas chitlins!
Vampires are very susceptible to holy water. Did you know that?
Well, all I know is that it does 1d6 radiant damage if I'm up on my latest role-playing game info.
And as you're scowling and burning, Tex goes for the roll-up. You kick out at 2, and with the power and fury of the vampire, it is time for you to set up and execute your finishing move.
Okay.
You are going to pin Tex and take control of the company.
I'm gonna be in charge of the company. Let's see. Whoop. So that is I'm rolling for the clown finishing move. By the by.
You're going to roll your clown finishing move, and how that works is you are rolling a flat 2d6. You are adding nothing to that. You can choose to add as much momentum as you want. I will say that you are booked in one more match in our main event, so keep that in mind, but you are allowed to spend as much or as little momentum as you want to spend on the roll before you roll the dice. And your goal is to get a 10 plus and pull off the win. On a 7 and 9, they are going to stall for you, and on a 6, you get the win, but something goes wrong.
Okay, so I choose before, so I'm going to scoop up my dices. I'm going to spend 2 of my momenties.
Okay.
Because I've got 4. So that leaves me with some gas in the tank for later. I'm going to add 2 to these numbers. These numbers are 8. I made a 10. I'm King of the Ring. I'm the greatest Dracula who ever lived.
All right.
Unlived.
You gain +1 audience, which brings you up to an audience of 3.
Yes.
You describe your finishing move. Tell us what this looks like at the end.
I need to name my finishing move, don't I?
You gotta have a good name for your finishing move.
You'll have to have a good name before you even worry about the rest. I think it is. I'm just gonna actually look because there's some wrestling moves in the
There are. It's one of the things I love about the game.
In the manual, which is very good.
It's one of the things I really love about the game is like they made it really easy for people that aren't familiar with wrestling to get into it because they just give you like a long list of wrestling maneuvers and like laid out like finishing moves. It's a great little added resource to bring you into the world of wrestling.
What do you think about a big old moonsault?
That feels good. That feels really good.
Yeah.
Just like a big old moonsault that let's see. No, because it's a werewolf thing if it's full moonsault. That's a werewolf thing.
Morning Star, like Lucifer.
Oh, that's good.
It's just a shooting star press, but it's the Morning Star.
The Morning Star press.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Morning Star press is good. Thank you, Fabby.
Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know, a shooting star is a moonsault backwards, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Morning Star press.
You go for the Morning Star press. It flawlessly. You land. The crowd pops. The crowd pops. Sure enough, you have drawn an audience from the other just like random people wandering the boat show. Your audience has gone up by 1. People are taking notice. They hate you.
Important question: do you have a cape?
Oh, I have a cape, but it is dramatically flung to one of my butlers at the beginning of the match.
Okay, because I would say that would look great.
That would have looked very cool in the cape.
That would have looked cool. Maybe in my next match.
So
I'll keep the cape.
The crowd gathers, and we reveal the real main event. The International Waters match is one of the main events, but it is not the real main event. As we reveal the set piece that we've been working with some of the showcasing artists at the boat show have been working with on this prop for us. As the Count Alabaster plague boat comes, that is a full on Dracula pirate ship comes into view. And your butlers all emerge for stand on it as you are giving control, and we reveal that the main event of this show is going to be a full-on raid on Dracula's pirate boat castle, and it is going to be the show is not only featuring the first ever international rules match, it is featuring the first ever boarding party match.
Yeah!
Where people are going to board this boat and fight their way through it live at the Reynolds County Boat Show.
That's so
This
good.
is a historic day. Not only has the ownership of this promotion transferred to Count Alabaster, but we have a boat at this boat show, and would you look at that? It's old, it's creepy, and it is gonna be the site of an enormous beatdown. Just you wait. Come on down, folks.
You know, I'm a journalist. I'm a broadcaster, and I've done my research, and I've been told this boat is haunted. So people should be very, very wary of getting too close to that boat.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why we've got these screens set up right here, these projector screens where you can watch from the comfort of these metal bleachers.
All right. Well, we've just received another $25 donation, which means I am adding a second match. I will reveal that later on the card. But for now, I have to pick one. This is one of my favorite names. So what we have next up, we have the first of our donation reward matches. We get a popular babyface coming out. We get State Senator Sharif Bradford, who is like an actual state senator who also just enjoys the wrestling, just like takes some time out and does it. Is fighting the Boston Stabber, Oyster Shuck. Comes out wearing an apron. It's got blood stains on it. Is carrying a big knife. Oyster Shuck does win because it's a boat show, and we gotta we have partnered with the Snack Shack to offer a deal on raw oysters. So Oyster Shuck wins, announces that everybody that buys 6 oysters will get one free. It's a special deal just running for Battle of the Boat Show. And we go to the pre-match promo for our next match. Panda Express, where are you cutting? Where are you? As we broadcast your pre-recorded promo, where you are being showcased as a monster heel in a 2-on-1 handicap match against your opponents, the Road Wizards, Istari and Fantasia. They are wizards who ride motorcycles to the ring.
I love them. I love them.
So, oh gosh. So this is cutting the pre-recorded promo beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we're just gonna play. We're gonna project onto a wall.
Oh my god. Okay, so I think he's at oh gosh, there's like a local train museum. And if it's like anything, if it's anything like any of the train museums that I've been to, they are like 3 people there who work there who are all like over 90. Everything is dusty and old school and everything. So he's standing in front of this model train, and okay, it's the Road Wizards, you said, and it was Istari and Fantasia. Istari
is a burly guy with a big long sort of Gandalf beard, and Fantasia is like a younger sort of like high flyer who is styled after like Siegfried and Roy. And they both ride Istari rides a motorcycle that is like patterned after a horse to the ring, and Fantasia rides a motorcycle that is patterned after a tiger to the ring.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So we see him, and he's standing there, with his elbow on on this old, steam engine, and he puts on his hat, and it's got the big panda ears on it, and he says, "Now listen here, you little road wizards. You may think that motorcycles are the peak of transportation, but you know what? You know what built this country? You know what is more efficient than any other form of transportation in this great country? Trains, my friend. They don't call me Panda Express for nothing. And Fantasia, you've got yourself a little tiger motorcycle, right? You think tigers are all cool? Well, you know what? Tigers are actually predators in the range of the giant panda. Pandas are giant, just like me. And you know what? Tigers, they see terribly, right? They don't have the vision to see the black and the white and the green. You might look at a panda and go, oh, they're black and white in a green forest. But you know what? Their camouflage is excellent because of the way that tigers' eyes work. I'm going to tell you something else. Pandas, 99% of their diet is bamboo, but you know what? Sometimes they eat meat, and today is gonna be an exception. You know what else? Pandas, they are endemic to China. You know what? Come here, kids. Everybody gather around your phones, your tablets, the TVs that your parents don't know you're watching, because I'm going to educate you today. Endemic means that they're only found in one place, and the giant panda, besides China, where actual giant pandas are found, the only place you're going to see a giant panda today besides China is right here in the ring, kicking these young wizards' butts. That's right. And you know what? You're going to be endemic to the bottom of my boot, because that's the only place you're going to find the young wizards today.
All right,
Get the hell out of my face. And he goes and he shoves the camera around.
Good. Give me a plus look roll for your promo.
See how this goes. That's a 5.
Great. It does not connect. So take +1 momentum.
Excellent.
And I think, I already know exactly what has happened. As you're about to come out, one of the techs kind of grabs you and says, "Hey, here's we're changing the card. Like I said, we're making Alabaster look as strong as possible. What we need you to do is really dominate in this match, and then we're going to change the ending a little bit. You'll know what happens when it happens. But the booking, the story of the match, you are going to look as strong as possible and just dominate, and then we are gonna change the ending to set up the main event. It's all good. It's all under plan. Don't worry about it."
Do I still do the edutainment thing and the no selling and the...
Yeah, do whatever you got to do. It's just when the ending comes, it's going to get changed. It's all good. You're great. You're great. Get out there, and has already pushed you out, you out through the curtain to make your entrance.
Okay. So he's coming out, and before he comes out, obviously the sound that you hear is this. And it's the sound of a steam train, right? That's just starting to get going. It's getting faster and faster and faster and faster. And by the time, he comes out, it's already... And he goes, chugga, 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 chugga. And he points to the crowd. And he expects a choo-choo. And I don't know if he gets it.
That's going to be a working the audience. And I'm going to say, give me a roll plus your audience score.
Okay. That is a 9.
All right. On a 7 to 9, they go along with it. So gain +1 momentum. I think that you've got enough fans here in the crowd that are starting to make the chugga chugga choo choo noise as you are moving through.
All right. So yeah, he's coming out and he's like, "Yeah, let's find these wizards, huh? Let's smash them."
And with that, the wizards, we hear a big revving of engines and driving around the ring. We see the tiger motorcycle and we see the horse motorcycle. and it is Istari and Fantasia, the road wizards. They are driving. They are Fantasia is like periodically he's got like a confetti, like the confetti thing in his wrist. So periodically he's going like magic, and firing confetti at the crowd.
I love that.
So, question I have.
Yeah.
As a heel, would it be expected to mess with people during their intro?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Okay. So he's hanging out, he's hanging out at the, in the ring, just kind of waiting there, kind of, letting them do their thing. And they go around, and as the two of them pass him, he reaches under the ring and pulls out a bamboo pole and just brings it back and waits for them to come around.
That's great.
And tries to clothesline one of them with the bamboo pole.
Yes.
That is going to be an athletic feat because people are coming at you on motorcycles, and this is a very rehearsed thing. You are demonstrating your extraordinary strength or athletic ability. Roll plus body.
All right. And I think he doesn't swing it like he's going to knock him off. He just brings it out to hold it. And that's the thing that he's doing is because he's so huge, he just holds it there and lets them run into it.
Love it.
Okay, that's a 15.
All right. Gain +1 heat with your opponent. You can gain +1 heat. Gain +1 heat with your opponents. You gain +1 heat with the two road wizards. And the match is underway. I think commentary immediately jumps in with, "Oh, that is a vicious massacre on the road wizard. Somebody check on them. Somebody get the medic to the ring. They have been knocked off of their motorcycles. This is a travesty. This is a dark day for the sport of professional wrestling."
The kind of move you expect from Panda Express.
And he jumps out of the ring, right? Because they're both, on the ground doing the writhing thing. And of course, there's two techies who have gotten the motorcycles, come out of the ring. And so he kind of
and they're all outfitted with the plastic crash padding, so that they can just swap those out easily for the next show.
And so I think the first thing that he does is he just goes and he grabs both of them. Well, actually, first we gotta describe his look too, because I know I've mentioned the hat. But we haven't mentioned the rest of his outfit, which is he's got the shorts, right? They're a little longer than normal, but it looks like it's a black pair of, the really tight spandex shorts, and it almost looks like it's a pair of white tighty whities over briefs over the center, because he's got to do the white and the black, and he has the contrast. Sure. But for the black arms, what he's got is he's almost got a crop top half sleeve sweater looking thing to get the black arms. And then of course he's got his conductor hat. And so he goes and he goes and he looks at both of them, and he takes his hands and he just reaches down and he picks both of them up by the back of their wizard robes or whatever, and just lifts them up, both of them at one time, walks over to the edge of the ring and tosses them both inside, and then climbs in.
And I think we are immediately going to kick off with a wrestling roll plus body as you throw them in, as you are viscerally manhandling your opponents.
Okay, that is a 10. This is his thing.
This is you're taking control of the match and gain +1 momentum.
Okay, so yeah, he tosses him in, and I think what he does is he ends up, they're both kind of reeling or whatever, and so he takes one of them and sets him against the ropes on one side, picks up the other one, sets him against the rope on the other, and is just going back and forth and doing a kick to one, and then using that momentum to take himself across the ring to the other one, do a punch, and then back and forth a couple of times, to sort of just give them no time to respond at first, and then he'll once he's done that a little bit, he'll done a couple of moves, then he lets one of them try to respond, and he'll hand over control to them for the moment.
Okay.
Oh, there's no 2 for the price of 1 deals at this Panda Express.
All right. I'm gonna have you first roll plus body, and then we'll hand it over. Because I think you are still kind of you're still just really pounding the hell out of them.
All right, there's a 7 on that one.
All right, this works out perfectly because you can choose whether to retain control of the match or or hand it over and gain a momentum. So we'll give you a momentum. We'll have them take over the match. The way that their offense works is Istari is like bigger and like heavier and is a heavyweight, and Fantasia is like lithe and skinny and does like high flying. So a lot of their offense is what is Jeff's genuine favorite flavor of tag team offense, which is large guy throws little guy at you. So I think it's just that he picks him up and just sort of like tosses him and you get bowled over, and then comes in with the lariat, and like they are working in a tag team that is like at one point Fantasia climbs onto Istari's shoulder and does a splash off of it onto you, and like they're fighting you very specifically with tag team offense. And what I'm going to say, you regain control. I think what happens is they set up a big move. They do a fastball special. Fantasia jumps it, gets his feet in Atari's hands, and he just wings him at you, and you catch him.
Grab him. Yep, I catch him, I turn him around, and I throw him right back.
Give me one final wrestling roll. Describe to me what you're doing, and then make the roll to describe what you're doing before the finish of the match is compromised.
So I think what he does is he pretends like he's reeling or whatever. Then Fantasia gets thrown towards him, and I think he sidesteps and just grabs him by the ankles and then spins him around directly and just throws him bodily back at Istari. And just they go down in a heap is the...
You roll plus heat, and you can roll this with your heat with the Road Wizard, so that's going to be a +1 before the ending of the match.
That is a 6.
Oh, that is perfect.
Yeah.
You botch. I think what happens is, I think that you overexert yourself. I think that that you weren't timed quite right, and you had to like you weren't timed quite right. Fantasia, like your timing with Fantasia was just a little bit off, and you had to like actually throw them in a way that like neither of you were quite ready for. And so I'm going to have you mark off a point of injury.
Okay.
And tell me what happens when you get injured.
Injury. Check an injury box. When an opponent is... So when they use an injury against me, they gain 1 momentum. Let's see. And then there's more stuff that happens when I erase the last one. Yeah.
Great. So anybody that uses your injury against you, I think that what happens is like a ref sees you like hold your shoulder in a way, like you signal to the ref, and like word gets out to the back that like anybody that you have a hurt shoulder and you're working hurt the rest of the show. Yeah. And I think what happens is Smoke Machine rolls in, Butlers rush you, grab you in a headlock, and drag you off to the boat to serve as Count Alabaster's heavy in the boarding party match.
Amazing. Okay.
And it looks like he has been handpicked as Count Alabaster's bodyguard. What more chaos remains as this diabolical Dracula has taken control of the League?
We know that the Count can mind control Panda Express, so even if Panda didn't want to do this, they might not have an option here.
Is there anyone who can stop, again, this Dracula?
And with that, I will introduce our next donation match, which is that match is ended in a no contest as you are dragged off. We cut to our next match, which is a 1 if by land, 2 if by sea match between Boats Ahoy, who is like a yacht rock gimmick. He's got the hat. He's coming out. He's holding the jacket against the human tank, Big Truck's driver. The two of them have a fight. Obviously, Boats wins because this is the boat show, and we got to make sure we got to pop the audience, especially after we did not send them home happy in the last match. And that brings us to the third match on the card, and that is Gabriella. That is Trans Rage. You are facing off against Too Old to Quit, Mary Monroe. Hardcore legend, Too Old to Quit, Mary Monroe. In the first ever international waters match, there are weapons spread out in the ring. There are weapons spread out in the ring. There is they are putting up police tape that just says all crime legal beyond this point. They are playing it up and they're saying for this match only, all actions in the ring will be considered within international waters, which means nothing is illegal, and it will be until one wrestler absolutely has it is effectively an I quit match.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are no pinfalls, there's only submission. And I think too old. Mary Monroe comes out. Old jean jacket. Jean jacket. I think I'm gonna put an eye patch on her because I think that's cool. Just rocking this old 80s slugger gimmick, like a Terry Funk energy.
Yeah.
Visibly Grandma Terry Funk visibly limping to the ring. One sleeve is missing, and you can just see the sleeve tattoo that runs all the way down. She's got the kendo stick over her shoulder as she climbs into the ring. Make your entrance.
I think the first thing that anyone hears is "Queer Us and Fuck You" by Doc Park Dissidents. As starts blasting through the PA as I think she comes out in a t-shirt and a big baggy t-shirt that she has a big bag she's carrying in the pride colors. She gets short hair with an undercut, and she has this big baggy t-shirt that has the transgender equality symbol, but then it has that "This is the age of sin" thing that was used, I think, by that one priest against trans people, that says "reject the order of creation, revel in the assimilation of man's image of God, destroy, plot the signs of death, disfigure the face of man and woman." She just takes it off before she gets into the ring even, and just throws it to the crowd. She's wearing a sports bra underneath. She has scars in different parts of her body because she kind of has been relying on the hardcore not gimmick, but hardcore matches to make her point lately. So she's all good to go, and just very, I don't think she rushes. She's very methodically looking at her enemy here, and looking at her and walking around the ring, seeing everything. And before she enters the ring, she grabs a poster of a local politician, a conservative politician who's said some bigoted things, and just burns it, and then throws it into the water, and then she gets into the ring.
I love it, and I think that the match just unfolds immediately. I think there is absolutely no there is no hesitation.
Yeah.
As I think I think Mary is already swinging the kendo stick and smashing you with the kendo stick, and you are already swinging weapons at Mary, and we are off to the races immediately.
Yeah, I think she as I go in, she hits me in the back, and you hear the bell. And I get a couple of hits in the back, and then I think I move back from a hit, and I grab one of I have trans colored kendo sticks, and I just hit her back, and I think we just start doing blow by blow kendo, even in the back with sides kendo sticks hits. It's kind of like a chop mash, but with kendo sticks.
This is a vicious match we're seeing already from the get-go. We're going to find out if Trans Rage can teach too old Mary Monroe, the old dog, some new tricks. Goodness gracious.
Neither of these wicked warrior women is going to back down easily.
Fabby, I'm going to have you roll hardcore. Roll plus real, because you are drawing blood and reveling in violence in the ring.
That sounds good. I believe my real is 1. Let me look at my sheet. That is correct. Realist 1. So. Okay, that's a 6 plus 1, 7.
All right. Gain 1 momentum, and Mary's going to take over the match, but choose one of the 3 options. Someone in the match gets injured, but it isn't discovered until afterwards. Gain +1 heat with your opponent, or give your opponent +1 heat with you.
I'm going to take +1 heat here with my opponent. Mary's not... I think the moment I got... the first got hit, Mary's not holding back anything. She's going for it, and I wasn't sure, because like we didn't really talk about it. We were like, okay, we're doing this. Maybe we'll discuss some spots, but it was like, okay, this is the match we're doing. We're just going to go for all the stunts, and I was like maybe expecting her to be like, okay, she's not gonna hit me as hard. She was just going for it, so I think like I am also like heated here. I'm also hitting her for real. Like we're just going for it.
I think there's probably we kind of see I always see some old like PWI magazines of like Mary came up in like All Japan Women's and like is of that generation where she's like, if there are weapons in the ring, we're just gonna kick the shit out of each other for a while and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and like I think I think Gabriella Transrage wasn't used to or prepared, because she's been doing a lot of these. She keeps getting pushed into these more like comedy matches, and so the moment she's like getting hit, she's like, okay, no, yeah, let's do this. Actually, yes. Hit me harder and I'll hit you harder. Let's go.
Very briefly cut to Alabaster just like anxiously chewing his nails backstage.
That's great.
Yeah. Who has momentum here?
She's got momentum, and I think what has happened is she is like she's kind of like she lays you out with one good strike of the kendo stick, and immediately starts setting up sets up a chair pyramid, because you gotta have a chair pyramid. Sets up just starts like stacking chairs like a house of cards, and I think that what I'm gonna do is give you back control as that happens, because a rule of wrestling is no one that has ever set up a chair pyramid gets to be the one to pay off the chair pyramid.
I think she like gets up and she's gonna I think she's just gonna go and suplex her, like as she's setting up, suplex her and like kind of throw her to the back. And then once she has her behind her, I think she's gonna throw her to the corner, and then get her up on the corner, and then she's gonna use one moves. She's gonna use one of her signature moves, the attack helicopter, which is a helicopter spin from the top rope into the chairs.
That's so sick. Give me a wrestling roll plus work.
Okay. I believe work is a bad stat for me. Let's see.
Who let them have this
there
many
it is,
chairs?
the attack helicopter. You know it. You love it.
Cool.
Here we go.
Work is -1. That's a 6 and a 3. That's 9 minus 1, 8.
Woo!
All right. So would you like to retain control of the match or take 1 momentum and hand over control to Mary?
I want to retain control. I have a spot I want to do.
All right, she goes hard into the chairs. They collapse. All like she's buried under a pile of steel chairs. She like there's just a moment where everything is very still, and it's like, is that it? Is Mary knocked out? And then like half of the chairs just like explode as she kind of like throws them out of the way, and then does a kip up and is just like, blood trickling down her nose is like let's fucking go.
I think while she's been doing this, Gabriella went to grab the bag she brought, and from it she gets like a drawstring bag about this big. Also, like it has like a heart, a trans heart, and then she opens it and she starts dropping pronoun pins, but they're all open. She's just throwing the pronoun pins everywhere on the ring.
Oh, is she allowed to do that?
I don't know, but this is vicious and I love it.
It's international waters and anything goes.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
I think the move I'm going to call for here is actually one of your special playbook moves, because
Mhm.
I think this is a good opportunity
Mhm.
to bust out mind games, because this is
Mhm.
one of your like signature
Yeah.
objects. Like this is
Yeah.
this is you leaning into your character. So roll plus look.
Yeah, let's do that. My luck is 1. That's 4 and 4 plus 1, 9.
All right, choose one of the following. So, mind games is when you engage in bizarre, outlandish, or mysterious behavior to psych someone out. Choose one of the following. You retain control of the situation or of the match. You gain another heat with your opponent. They gain +1 heat with you, or someone surprises or ambushes your opponent from out of nowhere.
I think I'm gonna get another heat with them. I'm gonna make this 2 heat with them. Because and you can already recognize this, but yeah, I think I'm gonna give them control of this. But like, yeah, I set these up, and they're like yes, they're not thumbtacks or anything, but they're pins. They are sharp. They're not like sticking up, but they're not in their safety.
No, I think that you are in Mary's head, and like the crowd is on your side here, like because you are busting out violence, and like the crowd is getting hyped for it. I think Mary like runs at you, and there's like a good long sequence of almost spots into the pins. I think at one point she gets you up for like an uranage and like tries to slam you, and you like narrowly like land on your side to avoid it. And she, like, while you're on your side, she goes and gives you, like, a running boot and just, like, kicks you in the face, lays you out, grabs, I'm trying to think what I want from her bag. She's grabbing, like, a bundle of light tubes and, like, lays you on top of it, climbs to the top rope, and, like, elbow drops you through the light tubes, and they explode, and... And like, and at that moment, she like stands up and is triumphant and is like, "She's done. She's out. I'm calling this match." And like has her back turned to you. What do you do?
I think at that point, I reach into my sports bra and I pull out not a huge flag, but a decent size trans flag, and just go behind her and start choking her with the trans flag.
That's so good. That's very, very good.
I think at that moment, you can tell me if this is too early, we both fall into the pins. I don't stop the choke.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Roll. That is going to be, so you are rolling. I think because you are both falling into the pins, this is plus heat with your opponent. So roll this wrestling +2.
This is +2.
Oh, Mary,
that's a 10 on the dice +2.
Oh my gosh.
Flawless. Yeah, this is sick. This is one of those moments that's going to make the highlight reel later. Like, and
I think there's a picture that someone is going in and taking where I have like her stuck in my arm as I'm like choking her.
That's your new Twitter profile picture.
Yeah.
Rips. And I think this is when I'm going to call for you to make your finisher, because I think like this is that perfect moment to just like end it with this, right? Like we've had the big massive deathmatch spot. It's time to wrap this up.
Yeah, I think she's gonna do 2 of her moves back to back. First, like she's gonna take the chance that she kind of has her on the ground, and I assume Mary's like trying to get up and groggy, but she's like on her knees, and she's gonna do like she's gonna run to the ropes and then do one and then Suguri, like a kick to the face.
Love it.
And then I assume Mary falls back on the pins, and then she's gonna get on the pins and push her down and do her. Well, the kick was the first brick. That's her move. Her last finishing move is her submission move. She's gonna do basically like a Texas Clover, like push her face down against the pins, wrap her legs around her legs, and push back. And that's gonna be the T for T. And she's just gonna push her down with that.
And roll me. So you're gonna roll me your flat 2d6. You can add any amount of momentum to that.
And do I choose before or after?
Choose before.
I'm gonna give it the 2. I'm gonna give it the 2 momentum. That's 3 and 4. That's 7. I have to count with my hands. Plus 2, that's 9. Wait, no. Yes.
I think I am going to. I think commentary jumps in with Mary is dead. Let her go. She's dead. Like somebody call the match. This can't be legal. This can't. Oh no. It's international waters. Everything is legal. And
I think I think this whole time she's just yelling "fuck you" like loud, like "fuck you, quit." Fuck you, quit! Like, fuck you, quit!
And I think finally we hear Mary go like, I quit! And
she lets her go.
And she climbs up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stuck with pins, like, just looks like a car wreck, stands up, kind of like, wipes her nose a little bit, and then like goes for the handshake. Like, you put up a hell of a fight.
Rises her up, and she goes in and raises her hand. Like, yes.
And at that moment is when a flood of butlers fly right into the ring to ambush the two of you. But I'm going to ask you, Gabriella, as we set up our main event, as we set up our multi-stage main event, the grand finale of this show, the boarding party match. How do you and Mary fight off the vampire butlers that have flooded the ring?
Reach out for a weapon, and like I give her I grab 2. One is the trans kendo stick, and I give it to her. I'm like, yes, this is your weapon. And then I grab a Yuri paddle, and we just start hitting the shit out of these guys.
I love it, and you are just you are tearing through these butlers as they are trying to ambush you, and you are fighting them off. I'm going to ask you to make me a roll here. Let me look at my roll options.
The minions should have known better.
I got a +1 audience, right?
Yes, you do get a +1 audience for.
Yeah.
The crowd is hot. Like, the crowd is electric. As you are fighting them off, I think this feels like, I'm going to call this an athletic feat. I think that feels like the right call.
Yeah. Is that body or work?
That is plus body.
Ooh, I believe body is my worst stat, so here we go.
But actually, I think in this case, I might allow you to roll plus work or look, which I think are the same for you, because I think that you are using weapons, and it's not necessarily a purely athletic feat. Like, this is a much different kind of fight scene.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go look, because I think she's definitely like using different things, and like I think she grabs one of those light tubes that hadn't been destroyed and just like bashes one over the head. And maybe at one point we didn't talk about it, but like at one point we had set up a table, or a table had been on the outside, and me and her just like grab this one guy and throw him in through the table.
Oh, and there are fireworks queued up on that table. Like, it explodes. It explodes just for the pageantry of it all.
Oh.
And I think Gabriella like spits on the person that they threw on the butler, they threw on the table, like does a big like showy lug spit on him, and the double fingers. That's a 6 and a 2 +1. That's 9.
All right, on a 7 to 9. It is a cool move, but you show the strain, gain 1 momentum. Yet either you do it and it hurts, you have to forfeit your next scheduled match while you recover, or someone steps in to cover for you and you pull it off with their help. If it's another player wrestler, they gain +1 momentum.
I'm between the first and the third option. The first option is just like, it's hard, but you do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll do that, because like, yes, I think me and me and this other wrestler whose name has completely erased through my head.
Monroe, right?
Mary Monroe.
Mary, yeah, me and Mary. Like I could give it to her, but since she's not a PC, I'll take it. I'll be greedy and take it for me.
What I'll say then is, I will have you take an injury and tell me what happens when you take an injury.
I think. How does this sound to you? I think I overextend myself, and this was not. We did not talk about this. This was not supposed to happen. Once, because like breaking kayfabe, all the butlers are other people from backstage. They're all wrestlers. They're all maybe wearing masks or like or
they're
people
all wearing,
who are in the
they're
show.
all wearing rubber Dracula masks.
Yeah. So like we didn't talk about this bit, but I think she just goes to autopilot, and like after throwing the spit and throwing the guy there, she just runs to the top rope, and like I think she does like a swanton and like falls on it, and like I think he moves, or like he didn't know if he had to stay or move, so he was halfway moving, and like maybe she gets like an elbow to the back, so now her back is not feeling that great.
Yeah, so you're gonna mark one of your injury boxes, and I think that like the two of you fight off the vampire butlers, and that sets the stage for our final match that will unfold over the next hour, which is the boarding party match. And how this is going. So what we're going to have, I'm going to have each of you cut a promo to start us off. We will go with Kat, and then Richard, and then Fabby. I have each of you cut a promo like as we set up this historic match, and I think the full match is Gabrielle as Trans Rage and Mary Monroe as a team, having just fought through this bloody match, fighting their way onto this boat to take down Alabaster once and for all.
Yeah. I think I another background shot, like another backstage shot briefly of Alabaster just absolutely racked with anxiety. just like fussing over Panda Express, looking seriously dismayed at the injury that Gabriella has just had. And it's just like, spends a quiet moment freaking out. It's promo time.
Promo time.
And the
real quick
kid rises.
I'm gonna step away for half a second. Now I will still be on camera.
All right. The theater kid rises.
Oh.
I've got a
life with Cat.
This is that
cat, not the cat.
Different cat.
Different cat.
I think the promo. Oh, there you are. The promo starts with Alabaster leaning back in a huge ornate chair, legs crossed, wine in hand. Ah, this is the life. Aboard my invincible super yacht, I am unassailable. I will rule this league and all humanity. And he takes a drink of the wine, spits it out, throws it at the nearest butler. He's like, how old is this? 2? 2 is not enough. Bring me something more fitting. My elevated tastes. Or my next drink. And instead of at the butler, he points at the camera. Will be you.
I love it. Roll me plus look.
Oh yeah, that's a 10.
All right, choose
10 from the lad.
Choose 2 from the list. Be booked into a match. Add a stipulation to the match. Call out someone to respond to your promo, or gain +1 heat with the subject of your promo.
I don't really have a subject as usual. Although I have declared myself unassailable, so the implied subject is Trans Rage.
Yeah. I think Trans Rage and Mary are your subjects, because they're the people that are about to lay siege to your fortress.
I think I'm going to push my heat with Trans Rage, because that will actually push it to 4.
Oh,
great.
yeah.
which is just delicious. And I love that very much. And what are some good stipulations?
What do you want to add to the stipulations? So currently, I think it is a traditional wrestling match that takes place on this boat,
Takes place
where
on this
it's like
boat.
it's pinfall submission match, spread out across this novelty boat.
Okay.
That is like approximately the size of a larger, laid out differently, but like it's not like a massive sprawling thing, and it's something that like is easily visible to the crowd. It's not the most visible because it's not a great prop, and they probably should not have used it. But
oh, that's even better. That's even better. I love this rickety boat.
Could it literally just be last person on the boat? Like,
yeah.
The whole thing is we just gotta get each other off of the boat.
I am eternal. I will be the last wrestler remaining. As I will be the last remaining when humanity is dust.
That's so funny. That's really, really funny.
Yeah.
Not to cut the flow at all, but this is super important.
Yeah.
One, I guess Kat just wants to play more Worldwide Wrestling because she donated $25 to get another match on the card.
Was there a comment on
after,
that? Oh,
John Harper, owner of Evil Hat and creator of Blades in the Dark, has just donated $200.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's so many wrestlers!
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I don't know what that means for your card, but thank you, John, so much.
Yeah.
I have to do math now. Hold on.
Now we're
they were looking
about
at
$100 away from our goal.
Nine matches. Got it.
Yeah, I put in the donation comment. I own this league now. Because
I was worried this segment would end early, but guess not.
I got excited.
Also, thank you for this awesome incentive, Jeff. It means a lot.
It is genuinely. If it helps people donate and it lets me do a really goofy thing, it's gonna put us it's worth it.
Yeah, I've loved your NPW matches so far.
Now back to your regularly scheduled wrestling.
All right. So we have the stipulation added to the match that it is now last person on the boat wins. With that, you have been hypnotized and conscripted into service under Captain Alabaster. Panda Express, cut your promo on Mary and Trans Rage.
So we cut to him, and he's on the boat, and he's just sort of got a blank stare, and he says, I am going to follow the wishes of my master and defeat you. Giant pandas eat so much bamboo, and it has so much fiber that they have to use the restroom number 2 40 times a day. And the two of you are going to be number 26 and number 27 on my list today. Additionally, the range of a giant panda in its natural environment is about 1.9 square miles. But today, this giant panda is going to rule this 80 square yards of boat for as long as it takes to make sure that my master wins. Also, giant pandas are not raccoons, we're bears.
Love it.
That's the promo.
Love it.
So much.
Okay, and that's a 6, which is exactly what it should be.
Great. Gain +1 momentum. Gain +1 momentum. Your promo does not connect.
Oh, perfect.
And
a little bit of background for that. So the teams at my work, we have different engineering teams, and we all have an animal theme, and my team is Team Panda. And so literally every day I work, I go and I try and find a panda fact. So I was very unintentionally prepared for this.
Came prepared.
I am going to say you lose one audience. I think that
Okay.
I think it's just not working. Like, I think the promo doesn't work, and like the audience is more confused than anything.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say you lose one audience, which puts you down to 0 audience. Which,
Yep.
unless you gain an audience by the end of the episode, you are let go from the company.
Perfect.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Don't worry. I got this.
And with that, I will say, you have heard the words. I think this is an actual proper backstage segment. We get
Yeah.
we get our backstage interview. Jorth Furnington. Jorth comes up and is like, You've heard the words of Alabaster and Panda Express. How are the two of you feeling going into this match?
I think they catch us literally like maybe behind like the shack and like the place where like next to the dumpster. We're like sitting on some shitty steps. We both have beers. We're both bleeding still, all fucked up. We're just drinking. I look at the guy. I think Mary like flips him off, and I'm like, I took the bus. I took the bus here today. I took the bus here today, and while I was taking the bus, random guy, don't know him, never seen him before in my life. Pretty sure he didn't know me. Yelled a slur at me. Started belligerent me. Bus was packed. No one said anything. No one did anything. They all stood quiet while this leech, this Berman, just harassed me. And of course, I can't just start beating up every other asshole I see on the bus. That's not gonna end well for me. That doesn't end well for people like us. And I put my hand on Mary's shoulder. And in that bus, I was alone. Tonight, I won't be alone. Mary will be there. I will be able to lean on her. We'll be able to take care of each other. If Mary had been in that bus this morning, I wouldn't have been able to stop her. That whole bus would have been blown up or something. But I'm glad we have allies and friends who will step up. But the problem is, the two of you remind me more of leeches, like I said. You're a vampire, Count. You're literally sucking off the blood, the life force of people. And I have no time for you. I have no energy for you. So tonight, me and Mary, and I think she like clanks the beers, beer goes everywhere.
Yep.
We're gonna show you what happens to assholes, and she like shotguns the rest of her beer.
I think that Mary does the exact same thing. Roll me. I actually think this is not cutting a promo.
I was gonna say, can we just call that a 10? And
I think this is your special move. Roll plus real to play to the crowd when you use your gimmick to highlight, address, or confront a real issue real people have in their lives.
Yeah, play to the crowd. That's 6 and 5.
Yeah.
yes.
Gain plus 1 audience. The crowd is the crowd is blown away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I have 4 audience.
Oh, I love that. This is one of those things. Like, there are certain wrestling promos that you hear where the crowd's Austin 316 is one of them, and Hard Times is another one where like the crowd like starts to go quiet as they kind of fully process what they're hearing, and you just hear that like build as that awe settles in. And I think this is exactly that sort of moment. as the crowd like comes to realize what they are hearing and what they are about to see unfold in the boarding party match.
Sometimes I worry she's legitimately going to kick my ass.
I mean, and then you see Panda, who's like literally towering over you. Yeah, me too.
But she did say sucking off the blood, and
that was pretty.
I loved that. Yeah, that was good.
That was pretty good. That was the best
promo she's ever cut.
All right. I am real quickly going to run through a bunch of matches.
Yeah, you are.
I had a name and I have to find it there it is. Okay. So we have a lot of matches to run through. I have 7 of the 9 that I owe the stream. So real quick, a bunch of the other matches that we see play out as we head into the main event. We have in a dinner theater match. This is the first match after intermission. This is when people are encouraged to go to the snack shack and get their oyster deal. We have Bright Lights Rick Broadway versus Reno Vegas the Branson Kid. Our mandatory like hoss fight match is Shanks Doyle the Appalachian Murder Machine versus the American Bigfoot. We have Creme la Creme, the cream of the crop versus Buford Bass Boat Buchanan. That's sort of a slobs versus snobs match. Buford wins big, as the working class hero. We have a tag match between the Working Men, which is Freelance Freddy, Uberlift, and the Weekend Warrior against the Road Hazards, Pothole and Pile Up. We have the King of Thieves, Taylor Marwild versus Thurston Billionaire, the Evil Millionaire. We have Pogs the Slammer Mulroney versus Youngblood Lee Feldman. And we have a wrestler that probably has a long history with Panda Express. We have the Tank Engine Tommy Trimrose versus Subway Sue Barnaby. It's a big show. We're really pulling out all the stuff.
Grudge match. Sue's been wanting this for ages.
It's a tag team explodes and like you hate to see it, but like it's a big opportunity and Subway Sue looks like a real star coming out of it, and it's really kind of setting up interesting things for both of them in their singles careers. It is time to kick off our boarding party match. I think that what happens is the boat floats like next to the dock, close enough that people can see what is unfolding on it. At the top, sitting on a throne, is Alabaster. Walking around the perimeter is Panda Express. And like at the edge, there are ropes with giant hooks on them. Landing ropes, right? Like for boarding actions. And there are weapons on the boat. There are weapons along the dock. And Transrage, describe your entrance with Mary as you make your way to the stage of this fight.
Yeah, I think the song starts playing again, Queers and Fuck You by Dog Park Dissidents, as me and Mary come out. And I think we're not carrying bags, but we're definitely carrying a thing in each hand. I'm carrying, I think Mary's carrying like just a full bag of garlic. Like those like purple mesh bags, just full of garlic in one hand, and I think she's carrying like I think it was like a 2x4 that has been carved into a very shitty crucifix, just into a very shitty cross. And she has like the 2x4 in one hand, the garlic on the other hand. I am carrying what's we good here? I think I am carrying I think I'm like, I have the flag on one hand and then the candlestick on the other, the transcolor candlestick. And like I hit the candlestick against my hand. Like, yes, let's freaking go.
All right, and what I am going to say to kick off the match, first off, roll work. Give me a work the audience as you come out to like hype the audience up for this big fight.
Yeah, I think she like stops at the. She's like not ignoring the audience, but she's walking with purpose. But she stops before getting closer to the boat and like looks around and sees someone. You know, she does the quick queer scan, and she sees like this young like non-binary looking fan who has wearing like a shirt with the non-binary colors, and like gives her the trans flag. And gives them the trans flag, and then just runs towards the boat.
Yeah, roll me plus audience.
Okay, that's a 4 and a 3. That's 7. Plus my audience is 4, so that's an 11.
An 11. The crowd pops big. They want to see you. They want to see you murder this vampire real bad. I think this is a real legacy moment from one hardcore wrestler to another. Mm-hmm. Like this is a real dream team. This is a real big match. Like the crowd, like y'all have done a good job hyping up the crowd to this point. And the crowd is popping big. If you'd like, you can spend a momentum to gain +1 heat with your current or upcoming opponent, because the crowd can't wait to see you go at it. Otherwise, you will bask in the moment and gain +1 momentum.
I have 2 heat with Alabaster. Yeah, I want to spend my 1 momentum right now. 1 momentum for audience, and get 3 heat with Alabaster.
Okay.
And I think the last thing I do before going in, I like stop and grab something from my back pocket, and it's a stake. It's a wooden stake painted of the trans flag. Yes. She like points it up and like runs in.
So I will say, right? You guys are approaching.
Yep.
The monster does have the move, and I have it selected, Not of This World, that lets you pick a stipulation to the match. You can add one. And I think what we see, unless you've got something, Jeff, is this is your move. Yeah. My job is just to make it seem like this is all planned. So, you've got the move, you're coming in, and there's just like that pause before the storm as you're coming up. And coming up from the bottom of the boat, right? Normally, the way this move works for Panda Express is if you've ever been to an indoor mall that has one of those indoor trains for kids, where it's basically a tram that looks like a train and it's got the little piped-in train sound. So normally what happens in a regular wrestling ring is this train will come in and there will be a bunch of panda-suited goons that drive around in the train and just whack people, and so he's got this whole set of goons that normally show up. We can't do that on a boat, so coming up, from the bowels of the ship, is this just like mass of panda-suited goons who are also wearing little vampire capes, so that you know that they're also mind-controlled.
Yeah, that's how we got to signal.
Yeah. So they start coming off of the boat and coming down the one gangplank to try and take you on.
Yeah, and I think we just start making our way towards the boat through these panda goons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining people flying left and right, people falling off the dock, going into the water.
Yeah. I think she's definitely doing the wrestling thing of like, she has the stake, but obviously it's not going to stab anyone with it. It's punching people, holding the stake, because that goes stronger if she uses the momentum of the stake.
You're using
in her
a plushie
hand.
for this.
Yeah.
The plushie doesn't deserve
you use what you have.
And you know how there's the life rings with the rope on them?
Yeah.
So somebody somewhere, because obviously this was all planned,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
somebody somewhere pulls one out, and they're all painted in trans colors, and so you know,
Yeah.
the stage crew is throwing literal trans lifelines to people.
Yeah, I grab one and hit a guy and knock him down, and then I think Mary is like struggling to hold one of them, and I just put it around his neck, and then like drop kick him into the water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second
Mm-hmm.
to try and find the thing that I want that I think will be useful here.
Okay.
It's gonna actually be in my. It's gonna be in my Worldwide Wrestling First Edition moves.
Oh.
So I am pulling that out right now.
So what are the commentators doing while all this is going on?
Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah, Cat. What's your commentator saying?
Lots of alliteration. I think my commentator has just evolved into big boat, badass big boat, stick,
Oh.
fly flag. Wow, like just just gibbering alliterations in the audience.
Oh,
Absolutely
and there we've got
mind-blowing.
a big splash from one of the mind-controlled butler panda goons. Not sure those words have ever been put together in that exact sequence, but we are loving it.
Oh, this is. You can never have too many goons. You can never have too many goons in a wrestling match.
Never have too many goons. All right, here's what's going to happen. Trans Rage, you are going to roll a wrestling move plus. I think that this is probably plus look because it is big, it is flashy, it is dangerous. Roll me wrestling plus look, and then I will tell you what has happened. I had to pull up the Regal Wrangle moves, which is
6
I think
and a 4. That's a 10 plus 1.
We love it.
All right, choose one of the following options. You can gain +2 momentum. I'm spinning these rules on the fly a little bit. You can gain +2 momentum. You can eliminate the panda goons. You can describe eliminating the panda goons from the ring and thusly gain +1 heat with Panda Express, or you can I'm going to say that I think the butlers also get involved here, and this is just you're mobbed by every henchman. You can start eliminating vampire butlers and gain +1 heat with Lord Alabaster.
Yeah, I think at this point, I'm gonna start also getting rid of the vampires, and that's gonna push me to 4 heat with Alabaster.
Great. Yeah, great.
And I think I think at one point, like once like most of the panda, at least the ones that came out adults are on the ground or on the water, and the vampires are coming in. I hope Mary do a power bomb to the outside to the water with one of these, and it's just like floating with their little cape as they fly. It's like, we're basically cleaning, so when we get to the boat, it's just mostly just the 4 of us. It's just like, okay, no. Fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you.
Love it. I love it. And what I'm going to say then is I'm going to hand this to acting on behalf of... So I'm going to say... I'm going to hand control now over to Panda Express on behalf of the henchmen. Describe to me how the butlers are taking advantage of the fact, or how your henchmen are taking advantage of the fact that Mary and Trans Rage are knocking out the vampire butlers from the ring. How do your henchmen capitalize?
Okay, so this is where I think we get the moment where they look like they panic, and they all the panda goons run down the dock. and they like run past the audience behind the bleachers, right? Just leaving the butlers to their demise. And everything seems like it's going great. You know, the Panda Goons have left. And that's when we hear the piped in sound of choo choo that's obviously played over a little speaker, and we see the little like mall train that starts picking up speed from where the audience is, and it's going down the docks, and it's gonna try and ram it'll probably try and go after Mary, I think, at this point, to try and eliminate Mary from the game by just driving her right off the edge of the docks. And of course, I mean, they're going to be going so fast that they won't be able to stop, and they're going to put this whole train over the edge of the dock, is the plan.
I think that this is, I'm going to have you roll hardcore. I think that this is your henchman doing a big weapons spot. So roll me plus real.
Okay. They're terrible at this. Can you add momentum to wrestling rolls?
Yeah, you can add momentum to any roll anytime. You can spend it freely however you want to spend it.
All right. I'm going to drop 3 into this so I actually have a positive on it. So we'll be at +1, and that is an 8 total.
All right. Gain one momentum and choose one of the following. Someone in the match gets injured but isn't discovered until afterwards. Gain +1 heat with your opponent. In this case, I will have it be with Trans Rage, because Mary is going to get knocked off of the boat here, and Trans Rage and Gabriella is going to be fighting her way through this on her own. Mm-hmm. So you can gain +1 heat with Trans Rage. Trans Rage can gain +1 heat with you, or someone in the match gets injured but it isn't discovered until afterwards.
I think if you want to take 1 heat against me, I've got 4 against you already, so...
Yeah, I will.
Awesome.
Good.
That's gonna move me to 2 heat against Panda.
All right.
So
Mary and the goons on the train all go over the dock. I think the side into the water.
Yeah, if this is okay with everyone, I think like I wasn't looking where the train was coming, and the train was coming behind me, and Mary just pushes me out of the way, not for me to get into the water, but just like moves me and takes her out, and it takes the train out, and I'm like at the in the floor in the pier, like, then Mary's down, and I realized that like train's down, like oh no, I'm alone.
Oh, there's no brakes on that train, folks.
That's great. That's good. No, that's fantastic. I think that what has happened is we see Mary, and it's like in slow motion. The crowd is screaming as the train crashes into the water. Trans Rage, you have control of the match. Mm-hmm. What is your next move on your opponent, against your opponents?
I think she like takes a second, looks around her, like sees the transcolor candlestick, sees a couple things, and like I think she's maybe holding, I don't know, maybe she is holding a transcolor candlestick. She puts it down and grabs like a regular plain candlestick that Mary uses, grabs her and grabs the garlic, races of them, gives a kiss to the candlestick, and starts running into the boat.
Okay.
All right.
Coming up the gangplank, and Panda's just sitting there waiting.
I am going to ask you, Gabriella, to make me to finally like climb your way. I think. So wait, hold on. Reestablish me in space a little bit. Are we already on the boat, or are we still on the dock?
I feel like we're at the end of the pier. I'm not the boat yet, but that's nowhere else to go.
Okay, yeah. Roll me an athletic feat as you are throwing this rope and doing the cool dramatic action movie dive onto like swing onto the boat.
And that's with
plus body.
plus body. Ooh, that's gonna be hard one. Let's see. 5 and 3. That's 8. My body is -2, so that's 6.
Ooh.
All right. Take an injury and gain +1 momentum.
Yeah, I think that back it was fine. Maybe it was the beer, maybe it was the energy, but like that back starts acting up again.
Yeah.
And you see her like hold her back and pull. She does the thing where when your back is hurting, you try to like force yourself to readjust it. I think like when she threw it in a way that really affected her. But yeah, I'll take 1 momentum and push forward.
And with that, we kick off our first proper match,
Yeah.
which is Panda Express versus Trans Rage. And I'm gonna hand control over to Panda Express. Kick us off as I think that you recognize that Gabriella is a little bit hurt. Like you see it in her body language. Like she's holding her back. Like it is not storyline that her back is hurt. So, but you have control. So tell me what you're doing.
So I think what he does is he ends up backing up to the other side of the boat, right? And he's telegraphing hard, so you know what's coming. That he's going to do the cow catcher. So he comes all the way back, right? And then he gets down low, and he goes, right? And then he comes towards you, but you can tell that like he angles it a little bit, so there's actually like a bed of like coiled ropes and stuff that is going to be a little softer landing than what we'd originally practiced. But you can see him kind of glance over to it, and then he looks back at you, and then he goes in for the cow catcher and basically just grabs you by the ankles and puts you up and over, trying to get you so that you have a nice soft landing on the ropes.
Actually, so because you are working so closely to protect her, I'm gonna say roll wrestling plus heat here.
Okay. And that is a 10.
Because fabulous. Gain +1 momentum and retain control of the match.
Okay. So yeah, what he's doing is he's basically you can tell that he's changing up a couple of the moves and going for things that are easier to like roll with, I think. So he's throwing out some slow punches, and doing the thing where he's going over the head with those. And then I think it gets to a point about like a third of the way through the match, and originally, like what do you think would be the sort of big move that switches around the momentum for it? Like
maybe you're gonna go for like a spear and I do a frog leap. I just like jump over you.
Okay.
And then when you like crash into a wall or something, you're like DC stumbling and you come back and I just jump and hit you with the brick.
Okay.
The first brick, and hit you with a kick to the face.
Yeah, so that's what he does. He sort of like, but he's giving like, you can tell he's giving a little extra care to like okay, you see where we're going with this. I'm going here. He's doing a little bit more work to signal what he's doing, and he goes for the big thing right into like the boathouse or the wheelhouse or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And he's really playing up the whoa thing, and just kind of letting you drive essentially, even though he's in control of the match.
Yeah.
Gabriella, I'm gonna have you roll the same thing of roll me wrestling plus heat, because like I said, the two of you are working pretty closely together.
Yeah, I think Gabriella's a little bit like conflicted right now because she's like, we did this whole fight and I like struggle to get like this respect, and I don't want to lose it. So I think while you're like all groggy, she like grabs you by the shirt. And she yells like, "Don't you fucking dare!" And then pushes you back, and then she does the kick to your face.
Okay. Do you think he would get it? Is the thing.
I don't know. That's up to you.
Ooh.
Yeah, roll me wrestling plus heat to see how it plays out.
Okay.
That's a 10.
Gorgeous. It plays
like
Nice.
12. Yeah.
Then that means it plays out perfectly, and I think the two of you are in perfect communication.
It's basically just saying like, hey, don't go easy on me.
Yeah.
Like this needs to look good. Don't go easy on me.
All right. So I think the thing that we the final thing, if you're okay with this, Jeff, for this sequence, this part of the thing, is he wants to basically like, you get in the kick, and so then he just grabs you and does the like punch across the face to get you in the stunned mode, right? And then he's got you in one arm, and he climbs up on top of the little boathouse, and there's one of those gratings. You know how on the old ships they have the cargo grate that goes to the cargo hold, and so he takes you up like basically a story, and he's holding you up there, and the move is he goes and he drives both of you into the grate so that you break through the grate and go into the cargo hold where nobody can see what happens next. And then that's the big dramatic reveal of who's coming back up.
I'm gonna have each of you as part of this roll me a wrestling roll. I think it's body. I think it's body for Panda Express, and Gabrielle, I will let you choose which of your stats you want to roll on it: body, work, or heat.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for heat here.
All right.
Okay, it's 14 for me, so he's got it down, and I feel like Trans Rage is definitely like you're winning this.
Yeah, for sure.
So the trick that happens is you trip him up or something so that he ends up taking the brunt of it. So they're doing the turn, and it looks like he's going to power slam both of them in there, but like she gets him to turn a little bit so that he's taking the brunt of it.
Yeah,
for his part, he looks great.
Yeah. It's a 7 for me. 5 plus 2.
So what I'm hearing from both of those moves, so what happens is Gabriella gain +1 momentum as you hand control over to Panda Express, which I think this is a perfect moment, because I think like what those two rolls tells me is that like he doesn't take it easy on you, like he does exactly what you told him, and like he the two of you barrel into this boathouse together, which leads us to Gabriella, roll us your finishing move.
Yeah, I am going to roll my finishing move. And I'm going to spend my 2 momentum on this.
Okay.
So that's 5 on the die plus 2.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
The fun thing the commentary can do where they bump a roll up.
Yep.
Is that every commentary, or only one person can do it once
each one of us has that once. Each one of us can do that once per episode.
I've used mine, but you still got yours available.
Because I would like to use mine to bump this up to a full success. I think that's what Gabriella deserves. I think commentary is just like, oh, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, ladies and gentlemen. And it's just like absolutely going completely bananas over this victory over the Giant Panda Express.
That's great.
So there's a grate, right, that they go down into. There's got to be like a literally like a Looney Tunes-esque, a big box that's hanging up from one of the yard arms or whatever, that's just got a rope attached to it with a pulley.
So it goes off perfectly, which means two things happen right now. Something that I missed, that I forgot to do earlier, that we'll do right now to play it out, is like the match ends. Gabriella, you look like a tank. You look like a force of nature. You are emerging from the boathouse like the goddamn Terminator. And your audience goes up by 1. You flawlessly hit your finishing move, which means that you have taken the top spot in the company.
Yeah. Audience 5.
And with that, you get to take an advance. You have your list of advances. For the provocateur, I will read.
Okay. Yeah,
I
go
will
for
read
it.
them out. You can gain 1 audience. You can pick another move from this gimmick or any other gimmick, or any other. Yeah, you pick a move from this gimmick or any other, including a move that increases a stat. You can create a custom move for this wrestler. You can gain a manager, valet, or enforcer. You can form a dedicated tag team.
Let me look. There was this one move. Let me look at a thing.
And then the other thing I will say is Panda Express, because your audience dropped to 0, you also get to take an advance. And I am willing to give you a second advance because a worthy opponent finally, you were finally defeated by a worthy opponent.
But speaking of Panda Express's 0 audience, it says here when you wrestle with someone you have +4 heat with, you gain 1.
Oh, then yeah, your audience is
that's right.
Which means you don't end at 0, and you don't get fired, because that's very important to me that Panda Express stays with this company. And I'm in charge of this company.
You get your 2 advances, and you avoid being fired because you get your advance for 0, then it goes back up to 1, and you stay in the company.
All right. I mean, yeah, it's like definitely picking a move. It's like it's gonna take the intimidating because he can actually he's learning to use the theatricality to be like, oh wait, I am huge. I can actually use that, like and not just as like, oh okay, in the ring, but outside of it. And I think he's been working with the other wrestlers like after this to be a little bit more lighter on his feet so that his work is actually average as opposed to bad.
That's great. That's great.
I think I'm gonna take the move from the hardcore playbook in honor of Mary. I'm gonna take Master of Hardcore. You know how to bleed right when you're in a hardcore match, and you would take an injury, roll plus body. On a 10+, you and your opponent gain momentum. On 7 to 9, you choose this. And then on a botch is legit injury. So
awesome.
Now I can protect myself from that last injury box I have. Well, no, I have 2 left. So
great. I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Richard, you get to pick a second advance for having been defeated by a worthy opponent.
Yeah, I'm taking intimidating and surprising agility.
Boxes.
Oh, surprising agility. Got it. I missed the surprising agility part of it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I only have 3 boxes. So I have 1 injury left, but now I have a move to kind of try to maneuver that.
That's great.
This isn't the hardcore match. Can't help you now. Of course, the fact that we both have body -2 can help you.
I mean, this isn't a legit match. This is not catch as can.
Yeah, no, this is functionally a hardcore match because it's more of just a brawl is unfolding. So what I want to do is I would like to have both Alabaster and Gabriella roll one final promo live in the ring. In the ring for specifically the moment where Gabriella has shown up like at the throne of Dracula. Like ending of Castlevania, what is a man? A miserable pile of secrets.
It was honestly exactly where I was going. I was going to open with, what is a gender? A miserable little pile of secrets.
Good. Run with it.
And he uncrosses his legs, stands up, throws the wine glass, looks at the audience knowingly, but enough talk. Have at you.
All right, roll me that promo. Roll me that plus look.
Oh, that is... I can do mathematics. 11.
11. Fantastic. Choose 2 from the following list. You can add a stipulation to this match. You can, or you can gain +1 heat with the subject of your promo. I don't think either of those things benefit you.
No, I think I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do a stipulation.
All right.
I'm gonna be like, no tricks this time. No tricks from me. Any motions to the garlic, no tricks from you.
That's good. Oh, that's good. Weapons are banned from this match.
Okay.
All right. Gabriella, cut your promo.
I think her promo's gonna be super simple. She's gonna look at the garlic, He's gonna throw it down. So he's gonna say, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you," and rush him.
All right.
Roll me that plus look.
That's an 8 plus, I believe my look is 1, so that's a 9.
Yeah.
All right. Would you like to add a stipulation? Because I believe your heat with Alabaster is already a plus 4.
Oh yeah. Thanks for bumping me to plus 4 audience.
I'm thinking of my wrestling matches. Since we're doing no weapons, I think I'm gonna add one more thing before we go. Like, I want to hear you quit. I want to hear you that you have been defeated. This is now an I quit match.
How dare you do this to me?
A submission match, right?
A submission
because
match.
there's no weapon, so it's not like a I quit. Anything goes. It's like a no. This is a submission match. I'm gonna make you tap out.
Okay. Yeah.
Incredible. And I think that we see the matches lingering as commentary dives in with this is perhaps, without hyperbole, the single most important night in the history of our sport. When we come back from our break, we will finally see the battle for dominance, the battle for control of TCW, the battle for the soul of Gabriella, the battle for the fate of the fate of the world rests in the balance when we come back from these messages. And we cut to commercial break. Which is to say, a little bit of a commercial break to say, just to shout out a quick announcement that we are adding an art raffle to the Marathon for Change. Every $5 donation from here until midnight CST is an entry to win a bust-up commission from Kathy from Dice Comics. So get your donations in as we head into our main event.
Kathy's art is wonderful. Like, really,
it's incredibly good.
A superhero that you really like, that you wish like anyone do art of them. Kathy's take on superheroes is amazing. Yeah.
That might be the thing that gets me
Beautiful.
So that we come back. We've got our commercial break.
So, Jeff, one thing.
Yes.
If it is totally appropriate, I do have an idea for a surprise and a comedy bit at some point during the match.
It's always totally appropriate.
If there is a point where that needs to happen, just let me know and I will take that.
I'm a clown.
So I will say this: like, the rules dictate that you get to do that whenever you want.
Okay.
If you spend a momentum, you just get to interrupt whatever's happening, and my job is just to roll with it and make it look like it was intentional. So if you see the moment to go for it, run with it and make it happen, because otherwise, that power is strictly in your hands.
Amazing. Okay.
So, I think the challenger the heel starts with momentum.
Yes, indeed.
Right? That's me.
Yes, indeed.
That's me.
We come back from break. It is time for debating. I'm debating running and getting water before we kick off the main event.
Like having an actual break.
I think an actual bio break is probably helpful.
Yeah.
So if we would throw it to a pause screen for just a moment, we will run and get some water, and we'll be back around 9:50 Eastern, 7 minutes. Does that feel good?
Yeah, that feels good.
Great to me.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. We will be back in just a few minutes as we go and get some water and get ready for our legendary, epic, once in a lifetime main event. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for donating to the Marathon for Change. We appreciate it. This is an important cause. It is one that we all believe in very hard. And the reason that we're doing this is that we want to see you donate so that we can help people get vital abortion care access that they need. It's what we're here for. So continue to donate. Continue to enter to the art raffle. Continue to force me to make more matches. I have not forgotten that I still owe you 2. And we will be back in just a few minutes with the final main event of our show. Woo! All right, everybody. Hey everybody, we are back with the main event of our Worldwide Wrestling Battle at the Boat Show Spectacular, coming to you live from the Reynolds County Yacht Show. We have an amazing main event lined up. We have Gabriella, we have Trans Rage staring down Lord Alabaster in the in Lord Alabaster's boat palace fortress for control of the company and possibly the world itself. This is all part of the Marathon for Change, which is a fundraiser for abortion access in Texas. We are under $100 away from our goal for the day of $1,337. We have currently raised $1,267, which is an amazing amount of money. All of it is going to a great cause. So if you are watching and enjoying this, please consider donating. There are a few incentives. Every $5 donation and above is entered into an art raffle from Kathy from Dice Comics, which is some amazing superhero art. You will get a bust-up commission if you donate just $5, or you'll be entered into a raffle to win some bust-up commission if you donate just $5. If you donate $25, I will dictate another match that has happened somewhere on the card. I have 4 more matches to lay out before we depart today. There's a lot of wrestling happening on the boat show. It's a great show. And we will real quick, and I believe with all of that, so keep donating, keep backing, keep giving money to a good cause. And with that, we are going to dive back in to our main event. We open on top of Lord Alabaster's boat. We have just heard our promos from our 2 competitors, and I am going to hand it over to Kat. Lord Alabaster, you have momentum. Start off the match.
I think Alabaster's gonna immediately just go for the clinch, and we're gonna stand there, we're gonna push back and forth in this clinch a little bit to really sell, just like. These are 2 powerful people. And he is going to look up slightly and whisper, "Hey, that was the best promo you have ever cut. Good job. Thank you."
I think she's just gonna hit you in the face. I think she's just gonna punch you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's just gonna swing.
I love it. Then I'm going to say this sounds like Gabriella, are you trying to steal momentum away from Alabaster?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, spend 1 momentum and then take control of the match and tell me what you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take 1 momentum off. I think we have this back and forth, this push, and you say that to me, and just like something about it, just straight across the face, and I think like once she has you like kind of out of it, she's gonna grab you, put you under her arm, and just like DDT you on the floor here.
Yeah, fun.
Just like throw herself back and DDT you on the floor.
Yeah.
I think that is probably plus work. I think that's probably plus work.
Yeah. I believe my work is only -1. That's a 10, so -1, 9.
Great.
Right.
Real quick, I just want to shout out the anonymous $100 donation we just got.
Ooh, yeah.
Which puts us nope. Tess just donated another 10. So we are over our goal now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
Well, technically the anonymous one took us over, but yeah, so we are over our goal now. We need to think of another one. Big thanks to everyone. We are tracking your raffle entries. Unfortunately, unless the anonymous person reaches out to us, we can't count yours, but thank you anyway. I'm going to go think of another goal we can set for tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
All right, continue. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So at a 9, you can either retain control of the match, or you can gain momentum and hand control over to Lord Alabaster.
I think she's gonna. hand over she's gonna hand over control.
Okay.
As that's happening, right? So you just, what was it, a DDT?
DDT.
It was a DDT. Yeah.
What is a DDT?
A DDT is a
Miserable little pile of secrets.
Okay, so here, this is Laura Alabaster. This is Lee. Head over here and then jump back so the head hits the floor as I fall backwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a DDT.
Okay. So then you come up, you're looking down at her, and then we get this dramatic cut.
Can
where
I,
the cameras shift.
before you do your nonsense, can I do my nonsense?
Oh, yes.
I have a little because he's gonna he's visibly swaying, getting up from this DDT while she's still lying on the ground, and he sways down close enough to say, "You think a guy like me hasn't had my own bus rides?" And then, so thanks.
And I think that something not deflates, but just okay.
Yeah. So thanks.
I think
thanks.
while they're having that moment, the camera has cut away to this other thing that's going on, so you actually get that private moment between the two of
Yeah.
them. And the thing that we see is Panda Express clawing his way out of the ruins of the boathouse, and he's like, right, and he gets this big dramatic moment where he's like, and then we see Mary, who has clawed her way up the side of the boat.
Yes!
Just walk casually over to the little stanchion thing that's holding the rope, or the big crate. Poop, 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 poop. Wham! And a crate just comes down on top of Panda Express, and he just goes down.
That's great.
And then we get back to the main match.
Oh, I did love that.
That's real good.
The person behind the character of Count Alabaster wanted to be like, thank you for that moment.
Yeah. I think that's the moment where you I don't know if connect is the right word, but you get through her and she's like, I think we're both on the floor. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, let's make this look good.
Let's put on a good show.
All right.
That's what I wanted.
And then control is with Alabaster.
I am going to I think I'm going to be the first one up, and I'm just going to do a big old elbow drop. I'm going to take advantage of being the first one up. To just kip up and drop down.
Love it.
And I know technically I'm not commentary, but I think commentary is definitely those injuries are catching up to her. Those back injuries, she did the move and she was the last one up. I think Gabriella Transrage might be more hurt than we think.
And then with that, I think with commentary calling that out, I'm going to call this plus heat, because I think that I think that you are acting, you are moving slowly, you are showing signs of hurt, and I think this is Alabaster capitalizing. Roll me plus heat.
Yeah. If there's anything I want to drive home about this character, it's that he genuinely cares about this art form and about his coworkers.
Yeah.
He's a sweet little guy. Oh, since our heat is 4, this is 13. This is so much.
All right, gain a momentum and retain control.
All right. Gonna gain a momentum. I think what I'm going to do is begin climbing the ropes. It is way too early for the Morningstar Press, and I think everyone involved knows that. But I'm gonna start climbing the ropies.
You gotta climb some ropies.
You gotta climb ropies. And that's I think I start setting up for the
I imagine that the ring is in the back of the boat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think what happens is I start climbing the ropes, but the boat is swaying, and I think I make an exaggerated whoa, this is harder than I thought. even though we've rehearsed this.
Right.
Giving Transrage time to get up.
All right. Taking momentum, and we're handing control over to Transrage.
I think it has to be the classic of her rushing to the ropes and knocking them with her body, which is gonna make you fall, not like down, but like sit down on the ropes instead of like standing on them. You're like on the corner.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna help her get up, and then she's gonna try to attack helicopter you into the ring from the top row.
Oh.
I think this is also a heat roll. I think that this is really the two of you playing off of each other.
That's a 5, but I do have +4, so that's a 9.
All right. Do you want to retain control of the match or hand it back over to Alabaster?
I think I'm going to hand it back over.
All right. Gain of momentum.
Okay. Attack helicopter is a spinny...
It's like a helicopter spin, basically. She puts you in her arms, and then she jumps off and spins you as you both fall.
Okay, so I think this is a more acrobatic spot than you usually see out of Alabaster. I think he's going to kick off Gabriella and put some distance between them, and maybe try and do a cool flip.
Okay.
He's gonna kick out of that and kind of kick off her shoulder.
I think this is probably plus work.
Okay, which is good, because I'm bad at buddy, because I'm just a little guy.
It's your birthday.
It's your birthday.
It's my eternal birthday.
You wouldn't suplex a little guy on his birthday?
Yeah, Transrage would absolutely suplex a little guy on his birthday. She doesn't give a fuck.
You wouldn't download it. You wouldn't download a movie font. You wouldn't suplex a little guy on his birthday.
That is, however, only a 4.
Oh no!
The lad did bad.
This is a botch. Your opponent describes how they counter you and save you from disaster and take control of the match. And I think, let me look at my moves here for a moment. Okay, I do know. I think that there is a referee here like waiting for the submission, and I think like slides over to you and mutters, "Great job! Great news! We got like you did it. We got some donors. We got some financing coming in. So we're just change of plans. The crowd is so hot for Gabriella. We're letting her take this home. So just sell it, make her look good, and then tap out, and we'll be great."
Yeah, got it. And I think. Oh wait, this is a clown man.
This is a clown
man. So I think what's going to happen is he realizes mid-air. He's like, "Oh no, I've fucked this up." And he just kind of like, instead of doing the flippy, he's just like falls in a tangle of gangly limbs, which is in a way that is for him a safer fall, but which makes him look significantly more buffoonish to the crowd.
I like that. I like that a lot. So then control is handed back over to Gabriella.
Yeah.
I think at this point Gabriella is like, okay, we're going home. We're going to the finish. And she like you're just on the mat, right?
I'm like, my vampire kidneys.
Yeah, I think she just starts running and giving you elbow drops after elbow drops, like pushes you so that your face down and like going at your back with like a couple of elbow drops a couple times, and then she just like she like takes a moment and like looks around her, and then she grabs your legs and puts you in the T4T submission and pulls all the way back. And you just yelling like, "Tap, tap, tap."
You win! The league is yours!
All right. Then in that case, Gabriella, roll your finishing move and add however much momentum you want to add to it.
I will add 2 momentum.
Okay.
That's a 12.
Yeah!
My sixes are a little pause.
Love it.
Cute.
Love it.
God.
That is perfect. This is your crowning the ace moment. Really is what this is. Like, you are on top of the boat. Alabaster is screaming. You know, like the crowd is exploding. The crowd was right there with you, chanting tap, 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 and then like Alabaster goes down. The crowd is electric. And so you. You gain audience, but you're already at the top of the chain.
Yeah.
But I think what happens is like the boat is brought into the docks, like a rope ladder comes down, and Gabriella wait like in the ring. Tex Scrapple is like there, like welcome, like ready to welcome you to the ring, like with and thank you for saving the promotion from Lord Alabaster here at Battle of the Boat Show.
I think she just sees him, and she doesn't go in, and she stays outside the ring. She just looks up at him.
And I think he stands there for a moment, and like he is smiling, and he's like but I think like as the moment waits, as you don't enter the ring, like his demeanor immediately changes, right? And he's like, "Oh, that's how it's going to be." And he's like, "Well, we tried to do things the nice way," and like he kind of like gestures to somebody. And at that moment, like somebody with like a lead pipe just like comes up behind you and cracks you across the shoulders. And like you
crumble down, yeah.
And you are rolled into the ring as he grabs the microphone. He's like, "You could have played by the rules. We offered you an opportunity to do things the right way and to work with us to build a better Tri-County wrestling for everyone, but you had to be the iconoclast. You couldn't just come in, shake a hand, pose for a photo. You couldn't. This is how it always goes with the hardcore types. This is how it always goes with the trash cans. You don't play by the rules. There are orders here, and part of that is when the boss offers you a handshake, you take the handshake." And at that, he shoves his hand in front of you. He shoves his hand in front of you again and says, like, "You take the handshake."
Ambar him and throw him down on the floor with me. I think like it looks like a handshake, like, and then it's a pull into an arm bar. And like I probably have people on me, but I'm like, and he's probably yelling and tapping, but I'm like, no, I'm like gonna break his arm.
That's great. That's good. I think I was going to say I think I was going to call for a roll here, but I don't think I need to. I think that you lock him in the armbar, and he is screaming and tapping, and producers have run to the ring to like pull you apart. And the brawl is underway, and like backstage, all the talk is like this is it, right? We've got Gabriella. She is at the top, and this is our moment to really have that big iconoclastic hero. And I think I'm going to prompt you for this. How does Alabaster also factor into this?
Let's see. I think comic relief. Like it's. I think.
Pitch if you don't have anything.
I think what's going to happen is that the smoke machine is going to start going. And the organ music is going to start. And the butlers are going to file in with the umbrella. He doesn't like the sunlight. And he's going to waltz up to the ring. And he's going to walk up to the ring. He's going to approach the ring. He's going to raise his hand as if he's about to climb in. He doesn't. He reaches over to his butler. He takes the umbrella. He takes 2 umbrellas. And he just kind of slides them to Gabriella. and says nothing.
And I think like the moment you do that, she like stops the arm and grabs the umbrellas and just starts hitting all the producers and everyone else that's in the ring and getting them out. And then when it's just her and the boss, she starts doing the double hits with the umbrellas to his back. And I think like she goes on top of him and does like an STF, but with the umbrella, like pushing the umbrella backwards, like stretching his neck with it.
So I think I'm going to roll for comic relief here. This is rolling plus real.
Yeah.
That is a 9. So
okay.
Yeah. I think you just
added a stipulation.
Oh, well, actually, I haven't done my put over move. I'm going to push that as a full success. And I'm going to have this, and this maybe they're getting it wrong, but I'm going to have this, the commentators be like, did the Count just change his ways? Did the Count just... Is the Count turning face here?
That's fair. Yeah, I love that, and so you are rolling. You have taken a 10. You have a 10 plus on your comic relief. So choose 2 options from the following list. You can gain +1 momentum. You can add or remove a stipulation to, or from a match. You can gain a concession that you've wanted, or gain +1 heat with someone.
Let's see. I think I'm going to... You know what? I think 2 things are happening. One thing is that I am removing a stipulation from the match, the stipulation being that only the producers are allowed to have pipes. I'm making this a weapons match by arming Gabriella, and I'm gaining a concession I've wanted, not in a fiction way, but in a just like, you and I need to respect each other way.
Yeah,
with Gabriella.
I like that. That's good. That's good. That's great.
And maybe this is not like a full on face turn, but I could definitely see like after this Gabriella pushing for like, hey, let's have some tag matches. I want to have some tag matches with the Count. Mm-hmm. Like throw us some goons, and I'll have some tag matches, maybe some trios matches with me, the Count, and Mary.
Oh
like,
yeah. Just be like the...
want this
can I make a pitch?
To be on this side, yeah.
Trans Rage, Count Alabaster, and Mary. Mm-hmm. They only make this during the June special events. They're called Pride of Lions.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. That's fucking great. And so I am going to, and like I think that like we close out the show. I think we close out the show with like a showcase of like we see, you know, we see Tex Scrapple like
one last shot, or
please,
and then you can. I think like the one thing I want is while she's doing this STF, the like camera is on her face, and she looks at Alabaster, and she just goes, "Thank you," like mouths the word "thank you," and just keeps going.
Next week, she's like, "Not in front of the cameras, come on." But it's like he's genuinely very touched.
And so like we close out the show with that shot of Tex being choked out, Tex having heel turned on the crowd, and like having turned against their chosen hero in Trans Rage. The show fades, and we didn't do something that I traditionally love to do in Worldwide Wrestling, so I'm gonna flip it.
Yeah.
Traditionally, like you start a game of Worldwide Wrestling by saying what happened last, like what's a thing that happened last episode. So I am going to flip this and say, like, what is a thing that happens next episode? Like, what is a thing that we think happens, like a match or a moment or something cool that happens next episode that we can tease out at the end of our game before I explain what matches have been happening elsewhere in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, I basically said mine. I was like, they tag. I think they do like a full-on 2-on-2 tag, and just like and I think at the end of that match there's the moment of respect of like I think Alabaster gets the pin, and then she like raises Alabaster's hand. Like, yes. And like does the point.
That's
Like, he's legit. He's not just a joke. He's legit.
I think in true heel fashion, Alabaster tags with and betrays a succession of partners because including Panda Express. I think like he works really closely with Panda Express for at least a couple shows until maybe he feels like Panda's got a hang on kind of being a little looser and being a little more like being like working on the performance skills, and then does a big dramatic betrayal. Maybe it's a revenge match between Panda Express and Trans Rage. That Alabaster is like, I'm sorry, we respect each other too much for me not to sneak her a weapon.
Yeah.
And it's a huge betrayal and the fans hate it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I think the thing that I want to see next week is I think there's got to be a corporate, like we got to see a debut of a corporate faction, right? Like we got to see, and I think specifically what it is this starts the program. This starts the feud between Gabriella and like the chosen champ, the corporation's total champion. Which hold on, let me find it. Let me find the right name for this. We are going to go with.
Sorry, I was just notified that we've reached an extremely cool number. So excuse me a second.
Oh, hell yeah, we have. Damn, we got the 14, 20, 69. Yes, good.
Not for long, fools.
Oh, no.
This is my heel spot.
So I think the chosen champion is creme la creme, the cream of the crop.
Gross.
Creme la creme is like the chosen like star champion, big like Ric Flair nature boy vibe, like the robe and the belt and the is like all about the style and the flash and the essence of it. And like I think Tex is just like, this is what, like, look how well Creme plays with authority. Creme follows the rules, and it's all it's all smiles and dead behind the eyes. Like there's a real menace there, but I think that's the thing that we start to build towards. Starting next week, we start to build towards Gabriella like staring down Creme la Creme in a title match.
Heck yeah. Richard, please.
Richard, you're on mute.
There we go. That's why. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, so I think the big thing next week that we get is Panda Express goes up against Poacher McPhee. So he's like he's about like 6.5 feet tall, just broad, freckles for days, just flaming red hair, and he's in basically like the khakis and pith helmet, and his gimmick for entering is he brings out a big like elephant gun that he fires off at the beginning of each match. And so it's a grudge match between the two of them. So that, of course, during the promo, he can educate people about, how endangered pandas are, because he's got to have this thing.
Yeah!
I can hunt anything that moves.
Exactly.
I love it.
His promo includes the fact that they've actually been moved up from endangered to vulnerable, but he's going to make, Poacher McPhee endangered today, etc., etc.
Yes.
Poacher McPhee is going to fix that mistake right here in the ring.
Exactly. Yep.
World's most dangerous game, Panda Express.
You may be used to being on the train tracks, but starting tomorrow, you're not moving anywhere because your head's going to be on me wall.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm
It's
sorry.
beautiful.
This is now a Poacher McPhee fan account. This is strictly what this is forever
heck
now.
Yeah.
Do not talk to me. I've been wanting this forever. Fuck.
And I think that, my friends, is the end of the gameplay portion of Worldwide Wrestling. We've closed the credits. All of you, thank you so much for playing. This was an amazing experience, top to bottom.
This was super fun.
You were awesome.
Aww.
You were awesome.
If it weren't sticky tacked to my wall, I would go grab my wrestling belt right now. But it's there, and you can see it.
I can see it.
Yeah.
So, favorite moments. Let's do some stars and wishes, and we'll get some recognition out there. What was the moments that everybody loved and the things that they want to gush about?
I mean, I'm gonna go first because we all know that this is gonna get it. But god damn, Fabby, that promo was
fucking
fire,
breathtaking,
fucking
Thank
real.
you. Thank you.
Breathtaking.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was like, yeah, I spent like the entire break just being like, how on earth is my character, who I've established is just like a little gay theater kid, going to react to this promo?
It was good. It was just it was genuinely like, heard a lot of wrestling promos, and it was a genuinely good wrestling promo.
Yeah.
It was very good. I'm gonna swing in the exact opposite direction. I loved all the panda goons chewing the chugga chugga. I thought that was adorable, and they had little capes on because that's how you convey that they're also vampire thralls.
Yep.
Obviously. And just like the absolute mess of goons, that entire scene was hilarious.
I mean, it was basically in my brain. Like I have literally, I will admit, I have literally never watched a wrestling match, but I have seen Batman from the '60s, and that was what I was imagining.
You know
right?
what? It's not that different.
Pretty much exactly
Basically
the
the
same.
same thing. Yeah.
No, actually, yeah. That's absolutely correct. Yeah.
Mine, there's so many good ones, like the crate stuff with Panda, but like mine has to be what is a gender?
Yes.
Little pilot secret. Like that was the one that broke me. Like, yeah.
Yay! I'm the clown now.
I died. Like, all of the respect stuff in that last match was like it brought me to life. It watered my crops. It was a beautiful, like, it was what I love out of Worldwide Wrestling, because it was that perfect marriage of incredible stuff happening on screen and then like incredible stuff happening backstage. It was just, it's why I love this game as much as I do.
Yeah. I really like the way that this game prompts you to think about the show as existing on a separate level from the actual reality of the characters.
Yeah. It's one of the things that makes this game unique, because like there's a couple others, but like most games you're playing on the fiction layer.
Yeah.
This game is like, okay, yes, there's a fiction layer, you're making a show, but also think about you're making the show. What does it mean to be making the show?
Yeah.
And to be in there doing that. And I love it. Excellent game.
Yeah.
For sure, one of my favorites.
Other things I love.
It captures the duality of wrestling very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It rips.
I really also loved the hardcore match between Trans Rage and Too Old to Quit Mary Malone. Because that was, I've seen those matches. I've seen matches that go down like that, and they're absolutely amazing to watch. And it was just perfectly captured that can't look away, afraid to watch vibe of a really good hardcore match.
Yeah, no.
So I literally... Yeah. No, please.
Well, I was going to say, the only like bit that I wanted to do there was the pronoun pins, and that worked out great. So I was like, okay, yeah, anything else, this is gravy.
When I wrote the pitch for the game, I was literally like, all I've got in my back pocket is that this is going to be Bash at the boat show, and it's going to be at a boat show. And as I was writing the pitch, I was just like thinking about boat show jokes, and I was like, I'm just going to write International Waters match and just like leave it. And if we don't include it, that's fine. And then Fabby, when I heard about when you introduced Trans Rage, I was like, I gotta put her in a hardcore.
Oh, and
I was very specifically like, I know that Fabby is going to create like an incredible. I was like, if I just load the ring with weapons and I tell Fabby just go for it, just go, just like let loose. I knew that it was going to kick ass, and it extremely kicked ass.
Oh, it profoundly kicked ass.
I now need someone, Kid Bandit or someone, just like, I'll give you the bag of pronoun pins. Like, I need that spot to exist.
It's a good spot, is the thing. Like it hit hard. It was great.
Yeah.
Well, unless anyone has anything else, I think we will do our final plugs and then wrap up. I mean, we have successfully raised. I mean, currently we're at $14.31, which is incredible, and like that is so much. We've raised so much money during this stream that I'm so thrilled about. That is all money that is going to a great cause. We have done tangible good today, and I feel wonderful about it. Thank you all so much for joining us and for playing this game and for bringing some late night Saturday wrestling into the world, which is really where wrestling belongs, and it feels good about it.
Yeah.
So I will throw it to everybody for your final rounds of plugs. Where can people find you and your work online? Richard, why don't you go first?
Sure. If you're looking for my stuff, you can go to origamigaming.com, or you can check out Twitter at Kreutz-Landry. And if you're looking forward to Sent into Midnight, which is, again, our PBTA game of psionic sea creatures defending their city from an otherworldly threat, you can check it out on Twitter at DIMRPG.
Cat.
Give me just a second here. Sorry. I am Kat. I am the host king of the podcast Sword of Symphonies, where my good, cool friends playtest the game I made, and I love them. They're perfect. And I am also the choir master of the upcoming Roar to Heaven, which is a limited edition actual play of Blazing Hymn, another game I wrote, because I do that a lot. You can find me on Twitter at Catlingun, that's CATLING gun, pew, pew, or at Peach Garden RPGs, which is where my gamies is.
And Fabby.
First and foremost, you can find me in this stream for the next 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I might be playing a game of Die Laughing with Tess from Moon Harbor Heroes and some other really cool folk. Normally you can find me at Fabby_Garza on Twitter. You can find there any podcasts that I do, any and all projects that I do, unionization work that I do. You can find all of that there. Support your local union, support unionization in video games and in tabletop games. Yeah, you can find me in Eidolon Playtest every Monday on your favorite podcatcher, and a bunch of other podcasts.
Now you can give Fabby $10.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now you know Fabby.
If you want to
Fabby.
see Fabby and Jeff do wrestling Iron Chef in like an anime, give us $10. You'll get the grab bag. You'll get a bunch of different things. One, you'll get the game. You'll get the PBTA version of Eidolon Become Your Best Self. You'll get the soundtracks that we use on the show. You'll get GM notes. You'll get extra episodes where we talk about the bands that we cover on the show. And all on top of that, you'll get a podcast, a monthly podcast where me, Jeff, Ashley Minor, and Maxie, I forget Maxie's last name. We all, and Zoe, who GMs, we play this weird Iron Chef wrestling shonen anime competition.
It's great. It's real good.
Eidolon Pasta.
Heck
It's
yeah.
good. Eidolon Pasta good. I am, have been, and continue to be Jeff Stormer. You can find me on Twitter at Party of One Pod. You can find all of my work at jeffstormer.com. You can check out Party of One, which is an actual play focused on 2-player role-playing games. That's all of my stuff. But I do have one very important thing to cover before we say goodnight. and that is that I have not forgotten my promise to the stream, and because our show has ended, we need to take it across town to Pure Elite Wrestling presents Yahtzee live at the Tyson Arena.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have Scrum Slapshot, who is a hockey-themed wrestler fighting Slugger Troy McGinsky, who is a baseball-themed wrestler. We have Runnels County Wrestling Champion Preston Chanjo Gentleman Magician fighting. He made it to the big leagues. Is what happened. He is fighting Big Daddy Longlegs. We have the Puzzle Master is fighting Bloody Jeff Dexter. That's going to be an intense match. Bricks Crackler is fighting Sergeant Ten Hut, who obviously, as you can imagine, is a military gimmick. Comes to the ring in the sort of the drill sergeant hat. We have in an exploding ring death match, we have Chihiro Watanabe, Queen of the Exploding Ring death match, versus Miss Olympics Carol Dennison, who was an actual Olympic weightlifter who has become a professional wrestler. That's going to be a wild clashing of styles to see somebody that is a pure wrestler come into a hardcore environment. We have the New York Spider, who is some kid from Brooklyn in a spider mask, fighting the Bloody Scourge of Boston, Brooklyn Jones.
Just your friendly neighborhood wrestler.
Just a friendly neighborhood wrestler. Some kid. We have Bear Knuck Chuck versus the Cracker Barrel Kid. And
I hate the Cracker Barrel Kid. Crackle Barrel Kid's gonna call me a slur. I know it.
I'm sorry, Cracker Barrel Kid.
Cracker Barrel Kid's Twitter photo has him in sunglasses and a baseball cap holding a fish.
Oh
no!
I no longer respond to Cracker Barrel Kid's grinder messages. I stop.
And in the main event, we have Io Cosmos, the Princess of Jupiter, versus the Epiphany at the heart of all things. Or Epiphany.
Hell yeah! God, that's a good name.
Card.
Oh.
That's a card right there.
It's a stacked card, and also the Cracker Barrel. It's really all hot matches, and also the Cracker
Barrel Kid's there.
There's always got to be one match on every card that you go like, I really wish that motherfucker wasn't there.
Yeah, it's like, can we skip this? What?
It's got to be right before they appropriately put it right before the main event because you're probably going to the bathroom during the Cracker Barrel Kid match.
The
Cracker. Now I'm just making jokes about the Cracker Barrel Kid because his podcast is unlistenable.
No, you cannot. It's not only like pure other garbage. Like they're all using They're using one PlayStation headset, like standing up in a kitchen table, and they're all talking around it.
They're really excited about upgrading their Patreon so that they can get one Blue Yeti.
Yeah,
it's like, and yet somehow still they have just so many crypto ads. Just every single ad. Just 4 ad spots an episode for whatever.
They own those companies. They own those crypto companies. That's their crypto. They're NFTs of the Cracker Barrel Kid.
Oh God!
Jesus.
With this episode, we are addressing the controversy that someone has stolen my Cracker Barrel Kid NFTs, my millions of dollars of
they say they
just
own
a lone tweet that says my crackers are gone.
All my crackers are gone.
Is Tex Scrapple? Is he part of the yacht club?
I think Tex Scrapple has to be part of the yacht club, right? Like I assume he was. I assume Tex Scrapple was a yacht club member. That's why they booked Bash at the Boat Show. He promised them that he could put on a certain amount of event and could draw a certain amount of people to the boat show.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Hey, how cool does everyone think Tex is behind the scenes?
He's like he's probably on the cooler side.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because like the thing about the company is that you all
Yeah.
have such outlandish gimmicks
Yeah.
that like if he actually sucked, he
Yeah.
would probably
Yeah.
like not like
Like,
push for
Yeah, I
those.
guess he wouldn't let
why
me
would
be a
why would
Dracula.
you
Yeah.
here? Yeah.
He wouldn't.
Like,
okay.
yeah, I think he's like, I think Tex is like go back to that go back to the example. I think he would like tell someone saying a slur to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
that's him.
Yeah.
I think that he cares about you as
Yeah.
performers and is
Yeah.
like it's one. I think I picture him as the kind of person that like even if he doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like behind the scenes, he's like, you go for it. Like I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
If it works, it works.
if it puts butts in seats. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like my
Oh.
job is just to do
Yeah.
is just to do whatever it takes
I
to
love
like
our
get him.
disinterested wrestle dad. Oh, he doesn't get what we're doing, but he's proud of us anyway. Oh.
Are you winning, everybody?
I love him. Okay, I do love Tex.
Okay.
The character sucks, but the guy behind the character is
Yeah,
great.
I think that he's put together this show and he's like, however, because like the thing is, I always strike out my favorite wrestling, and it's why I always go back to the promotion of Tri-County Wrestling. Is I love wrestling that sucks is the only way to do like bad wrestling is my favorite wrestling. Like
There's nothing
that
like
is,
live bad wrestling. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing as good as that.
in a weird
Mhm.
sweaty venue with 30
Yeah.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like they're
I-
still fucking
yeah.
going for it. Like
Yeah, no, I once went to River City or Alamo City Wrestling, I can't remember which one it was, in San Antonio, where it was literally a sports bar. They put the ring where they had like their tiny, like not even dance space. That's where like normally on Friday nights or whatever people would dance in the middle of the sports bar. That's where they put the ring, and then they had a hardcore match where they just went through all of the bar, throwing each other on tables. And like these weren't like breakable. These are like bar tables. Nothing's gonna fall here. Nothing's gonna break. It was just like grab your drinks, move to the side.
Man, I wish I was there. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
the last show I saw before COVID was it was an H2O show. It was a hardcore hustle organization show. That was like in a the back warehouse behind like a gymnasium, and there were legitimately 30 people there, and about 10 of them were other wrestlers that were either on the card or like looking to be on the card. And it just was like that's the most electric wrestling experience. And so like that level of like we are just gonna throw this thing together and we're gonna make this happen, like that to me is what makes wrestling special, and that is always why like what I default to when I run Worldwide Wrestling, because like it is easy to play with the fantasy of like this is a huge production with unlimited budget, but like the wrestling that is my heart is we've got big ideas and we do not have the technical skills to pull them off.
That's awesome.
I
just
all right,
wanna
everybody.
thank everyone for doing this. Thank you, Jeff, for taking time out of your busy schedule to run this. Thank you, everyone, for just putting on such a dramatic game. I'm really glad you went for the 4-hour slot, because the intensity and the drama by the end with a pretend vampire and a panda train conductor next to this very like serious social issue character, like what you drew out of that was amazing.
I was scared. I was like, I really want to do this. This is like the one thing that's in my brain. I've been thinking about this forever. I see everyone's doing jokey gimmickies, and that's rad. I fucking love comedy wrestling, but I'm like, am I gonna clash? Is this gonna work? I'm so happy it did.
In the group chat we had, peek behind the curtain, like when we saw that it was like that's what you wanted to do, it was like hell yeah, let's go.
Go it.
Yeah.
Like,
Wreck it up.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, Jeff, for rolling with the art raffle and suggesting the incentive to put more matches on the card, which I really love because you didn't even need to describe the matches because the names just tell you what they're about.
They do the bit. They
Crap.
match.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I figured it was the easiest incentive that I could offer because I have this list of wrestler names that I could just pull combinations of them that are funny and just let your brain do the rest.
Yeah.
So up next, we have Tess from Moon Harbor Heroes running Die Laughing, which is a comedy horror game. Since we're entering sort of the night block, I want to plug Clever Corvids and my own things. I don't mean to trap you on the call. I'm going somewhere with this. This stream is presented by Clever Corvids and our show, City That Never Dies, which is a 1920s inspired Blades in the Dark actual play. You can find us on Twitter at clever_Corvids. And you can find me on Twitter at Dragon Girl Josie. We also have another podcast coming out this Tuesday, run by me and starring Fabby. So if you want more Fabby, there's never a lack of Fabby. She's on everything, and I love her character in this one.
If you want to see me play a young trans artist from Miami who is the reincarnation of a demon who's obsessed with Lucifer, come listen to the show.
Yeah. The show is called Demon, Love, and Hellfire, and it goes live Tuesday morning. But now, remember back to what I said about what comes next.
Yeah.
Die Laughing is a comedy horror game, which means we're entering the night block, which has several spoopy sorts of games in it. Which means it's time, and I may have accidentally shown a glimpse of this to the stream earlier, but pretend like you didn't see that. It's time to enter night mode.
Oh, shit.
I'm excited to see what night mode looks like.
Oh, no.
Thank you, everyone. And I think I'm going to transition us to break screen.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Nice. I'll be back in 15 minutes.
I'm always in your heart.